Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom. Hallelujah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'll be right back in a second. The sisters are here, everybody. Y'all go ahead and say shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Y'all can go ahead.
Shabbat shalom.
Yep. We got a treat for y'all. And they believe me, it's a treat. Me and brother Chris this morning. But that's one thing I love about these brothers, and especially this brother right here. He noticed that I allowed my to speak last night, and he wanted to know if he needed to remove the video for protection sake. And I told him, no, don't worry about it. It's all good. I didn't plan on doing it, and so we just went with it. But I honor the brother. He's very honorable. He's a young man. I mean, to me, he's a great man. Love him and his family. And brother David and his family. So we just wanted to thinking for a while about allowing people to speak from their perspective on women, on covering, on why we don't talk about it, because they hear our conversation. As far as, they hear us talking on the live stream about women being covered. So they know how we feel about it, they know what we think about it, so forth and so on. Let's see. Any of y'all phones on? Let's see something.
Yeah, brother Andre, I was gonna say it sounds like it's echoing on your end.
Let me make sure I got all of them set up. That's right, bro. I'm gonna come out and come back in.
He about to come back in, y'all. Is it echoing on my end also? Or was it just his end?
What do you think now?
All right, say something, brother Andre.
Do you hear an echo?
Yeah, it's a weird echo.
Hey, I got a question. How many phones you running over there?
I have one phone, and then I have this phone, but I have the volume turned down.
Okay, cool. I'm not running anything. Yeah, all y'all. Yeah, the only thing I'm running right now is just StreamYard. I tell you what, I'm gonna try to see if I can come in through a Chrome.
Okay. Yeah, they hear that. So he's gonna come out and come back in through Chrome. I'll say some Shabbat Shaloms while he's coming in. Shabbat Shalom, House of Lamar, my brother. Shabbat Shalom. Brother David K, Shabbat Shalom. Brother Tom Sturgill, Shabbat Shalom, brother. House of Lamar. Oh, I said House of Lamar. Brother Mike B, Shabbat Shalom. Suma from the house of Brother Jerry. Shabbat Shalom, sister. All right, let's get Brother Andre back in here.
Is it the same thing?
Brother Jerry. Same thing. Shabbat Shalom, sister. No, you're good now.
Cool. I was hoping. I don't know. It seems like it's a delay. You got anything now?
Brother David K said there's still an echo delay.
Yeah, my laptop is on. All of that phone is on, and I only had this one screen open. Weird.
It is because you never have an echo any other time.
What about now? Are you getting anything now?
Still echo.
That's wild, bro. Cause I got in the earphone, and you can hear it. Even they say they can hear it, and they're not even on the phone. Oh, they can hear the delay.
Yeah.
That's all. Now we wanted to do some BS. This shit would have been working like young corn.
Right. Right. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna log out. I'm gonna come back in, and I'm gonna see if that fixed it. So when I log out, you talk and see do they hear the echo.
Are y'all still hearing an echo?
Give me diaper insert.
Cool. We can try another phone if y'all want to. I mean, I can put it through on y'all phone too. So they still got an echo. Hey, bro, Chris, I got a question.
Yeah.
On the phone, you say you got on low. That's the phone you watch your messages through?
Yes.
Hey, I got a question.
On YouTube.
Can you put it on mute?
I don't have any volume on it.
Oh, you don't have no volume on it?
No, the volume's completely off. The only time I turned it up was when I was trying to hear if there was an echo on your end.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I'm gonna try to come through maybe through Key Phone or Amy Phone to see what happens.
All right. You're gonna have to send the invite to their phone.
Okay, cool.
From the chat.
All right, no problem.
All right.
Good job. I got one. Thank you. Put it back.
So how's y'all Shabbat been? Day of rest. Hope it's been restful. Oh. Under control. Brother David Journey Acre, Shabbat Shalom. Let me see if I can get this right. Giborim, Red Abibus, Shabbat Shalom. I hope I did that good. Brother Juan Moore, Shabbat Shalom. Where's my Brother Thomas? I know if I see Brother Juan, I'm gonna see Brother Thomas. There he is. Brother Thomas Madison, Shabbat Shalom. Brother Jay Morris, Shabbat Shalom. You can scoot back.
Yes.
She can scoot a little bit further. Uh-oh. There she is.
Shabbat Shalom.
They didn't gonna talk all of that. We're just waiting for Brother Andre, then we're gonna get started. If you don't see Sister Ebony in the stream, she got babies. She got babies. Oh, apparently you got.
Where's your paper?
You got one too. Oh wait, look, brother, I have a huge update. We can talk about this shit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Brother Lamar. Oh, the Barak. Shabbat Shalom. I don't think they can see you.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you actually said loud enough. There he is. All right. Let's add to the stream. Oh, it's a good question. Brother Juan, when he gets in, I'll have him put a link to his channel. You know, I might be able to put a link to his chat. No, we lost him. We lost him. We're gonna get started. We're just working through some technical difficulties. See what I mean? Babies. Oh my God. All right, let me see if we can get them back in. Oh wow. This is Life on the Homestead. All right, Brother Juan, that should be HOQ's. There it is. Yep, that's HOQ's channel. So if you haven't subscribed to my brother HOQ, there's your opportunity. I made it all nice and easy for you. See, it's not showing his face. He's not loading up at all. We about to get started, everybody. Okay. All right. 1 minute. He's almost done. New World, Sister New World, Shabbat Shalom. Hallelujah. Brother Andre's bouncing from phones. That's how he do. He got his 17 cell phones. All right, let me get Brother David's channel. Now, he doesn't have anything on his channel yet, but he will be soon. Y'all willing? All right. Uh-oh. All right. And there is Brother David's channel. Whew. I did all the hard work for everybody. How's y'all Shabbat?
Our Shabbat is good. Well, yeah. Our Shabbat is good. Had a small teaching, discussion, and just been resting most of the day. Trying to keep cool.
Yeah, it did get randomly hot today. All right. It looks like there he is. We got a face.
Is this better?
It sounds better. Let me just see.
We had to go get therapy.
It sounds better.
Okay. Well, I'm just
And
gonna
if
let
not,
hold it.
it's gonna be like this. We're gonna rock this one.
Yeah, we just rock it out.
Oh, everybody said it's still echoing.
What?
Hey, we'll just go.
That's crazy.
Our Tube World said, Our Tube World. I think I know who that is. I think that's
Sister.
I don't know if she wants her name up, but I think I know who that is.
That ain't Sister Suba?
No. Our brother David K said he wants me to mute, but if I mute the mic, I can't talk.
I can mute mine.
You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna mute mine, and then you talk, and let's see if we get an echo.
Testing 1, 2. Microphone check. Can you hear me? You got it on? We got a full-grown bell southbound. Break 19. Did it echo?
I muted my live stream, StreamYard, and there's no echo.
So what do you think the problem is?
All right, keep talking.
Okay.
The volume on this phone is completely off. You know what? I'm just gonna turn the whole stream off. There you go. The stream's off.
Hello?
Do y'all hear any echo from HOQ's in?
Echo 19. Lima Bravo. Nothing.
But David said echoing.
It's still echoing.
Okay, hold on. Make sure I'm not.
Take your phone in there. Turn off the phone.
So it echoes when it doesn't echo.
Is it echoing?
Wait, House Lamar said yes. Elder Brock said no. Still echoing.
What's the playback?
When you muted it, it didn't echo.
No.
Hey, I even got
echo
cancellation check, and it ain't working off of streaming.
All right, I turned my other phone completely off now. But next, I'm about to chuck the phone out the house.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Well, that phone wasn't.
Yeah, I got to quit.
They're saying it's still echoing, so it's this. It's my link to StreamYard. No. So it has something to do with StreamYard.
More than likely, yeah.
Oh, it's nothing to do with it. There's nothing to do with it.
Yeah, more than likely it's something.
Hold on, I'm gonna jump out one more time and then jump back in.
Y'all got up the chat. Pull up the chat and let's see. Yeah. This is unusual. Honestly.
It is.
Because we know, I'm going to tell you something. When we be on, we used to talk 5 minutes before the show or 10 minutes before the show. And we sorry it's going like this, y'all. But we used to talk 5 or 10 minutes before the show start. No problem. And then sometimes we get down there, we can just go straight on. With 2 minutes before the clutch, we'll just say shalom. Now, we haven't spoken to each other most of the day because we doing our thing, so, working or whatever the case is. But this is a StreamYard problem, and the only reason I say that because 2 minutes on, y'all know we be going. I be sitting listening to music, or we be talking for a couple seconds, and then we ready to blow it on down. Y'all getting the echo? None.
All right, how's it now? I got out of the internet.
I don't hear nothing. It sounds good to me.
All right, Thomas Master said no echo. So I got off the internet completely. It may have been somehow how we joined the chat and how we had the multiple phones at the same time.
Yeah, I had the laptop going at one time and the phones. We just won't do that. I just told him, man, get started in the day. Sometimes when we first started, we would jump on 5 or 10 minutes, and me and you and Brother David be yucking it up. But
I think what it was I'm hosting the stream, and then you know how you had your phone and the laptop talking at the same time?
Yes, sir.
I never got off, so I think I had to go off to kind of reset the stream and then come back in. So everyone says we're good now. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I was wondering. Hey, my folks is getting happy over here. They was like, well, I guess we wasn't supposed to do it. Hallelujah. It was.
I guess the Most High doesn't want us to be live today.
That's exactly what they shot out there. I don't know about all that. I don't know the Most High. We ain't so up in the heavenlies that we believe in all that. Like some Martian man came down and sat on top of the satellites or something, or they had a telephone.
See, and the interesting thing is, some people be like, "Hey, you need to rebuke the demon." I'm like, "Nah, I just need to restart my phone."
That's what I'm talking about. Practical application. Man,
Practical application. There it is.
We didn't have to pray in the spirit about that. Man.
There it is. That media said the spirit told me. Yes, y'all see that, everybody? You see the practical application of things?
Hey,
we didn't have to rebuke the spirits of boys and boys. All I had to do was hit refresh. Who would have thought?
Hey, that's Hebraic right there. You can't get around that.
Nope.
Man, I guess what I was trying to say earlier is that, I mean, I was telling them, and I know it had a lot of echo and stuff. I mean, I honor you, brother, and I honor Brother Dave, but I'm just focusing on you for the moment because, you know, when you shout out that text, I hadn't even went to bed yet. And I mean, you shot that text. It seemed like it was about 1 this morning, and you was like, "Hey, brother, you know, you want me to take the video down?" And I'm like, "Nah, it's cool, it's cool." But what I'm trying to say is, man, I just love you, brother, and I appreciate you for even thinking like that because our stuff y'all don't know this, but our stuff do not be scripted. We be off the cuff. I mean, not saying that I know Brother Chris be getting some scriptures. Sometimes I have some scriptures that I might have thought of earlier in the week and thought on, but we do not be like I said, the first few minutes and me, him, and Brother David be on. I can tell y'all right now, we just catching up in about 3 minutes of, hey man, you all right? I love you. How you feeling? And then we be like, man, let's go ahead and run this thing on down before
there it is.
That's it. It's off the cuff because we want to be actually what my brother Ben and y'all talked about last night. We always want to be authentic and transparent.
Right.
So what you finna see today is something like my folks didn't even know about this. Matter of fact, my senior wife said this is one way to wake up. Cause when I spoke to her this morning, I said, "Well, y'all have a live stream about 3 o'clock." They was like, "Huh?" And when I talked to my junior wife, Amos like, "I guess you're warming us up for tabernacles." I said, "That's a good way to look at it."
Yep.
But I just wanted to throw this out there. Me and Brother Chris was talking this morning, and I told him what had been on my mind was I think it does the body good, and I mean the body of Yeshua good to hear from our helpmeets in the sense of when we say stuff, I know it has a certain amount of power to it, but I know for women, it probably a little more on it when you hear from women that actually live with us, walking this thing out with us. So it had been on my mind, and I know Brother Chris had approached me earlier, and I was like, and that's why he know this probably off the cuff now, because I said, "Nah, my folks is in for the year. We ain't doing nothing else other than tabernacles. And when we do tabernacles, that's more on a personal level. And they don't be on every day that me, him, and Brother David be on. But I had been thinking about it, and I said, you know what? We got that question about, why they don't talk to the women and all that kind of stuff. Well, this gonna be a prime opportunity for the women to get their damn questions in while they can, because they can just. I know that these women in these houses, they can just tell y'all what it is, what they see, what they hear, what their husband go through. When it comes to covering the process, what they see in other women, and sometimes I know they give women the benefit of the doubt, whether it's phone conversation, texting, or whatever it is. They be giving these women the benefit of the doubt, and I just want y'all to be able to hear from these two households here, what's really what. So you will know we nothing and we ain't BSing, cause we see stuff, we hear stuff. And other than that, I just want to say, Blessings and Shabbat Shalom to my good brother out there wrestling, him and his family over there, the Burdets. Over there on Mothland. We love y'all. And without further ado, I'm finna give it over to my folks so I can just sit back and throw some questions out there.
Woo! Yep. Let me see if I can scoot over. So I'm off camera. You can scoot over. And then Ebony can scoot over so she can get on camera. Woo! They in the hot seats. But just like Brother Andre said, this is all off the cuff. This is not pre-planned. They didn't get time to choreograph their questions and answers.
Shalom.
Shalom, y'all.
Hi, Brother Andre.
What's on your mind? Go ahead. Hey,
no, you fire off. You got it first.
Well, what I wanted to say is, can you run back the question that was given last night?
Yes, sir.
Be good for them to even answer.
The question that was asked, actually, it was asked. It might have been Thursday. We just talked about it yesterday. The question was, why is it that us brothers, you also gonna hear children in the background. Why is it that us brothers stop talking to the sisters on the live streams, about anything? And why is it that we just kind of solely went to addressing us brothers?
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and I guess start it off. One reason is that they have addressed the topic on more than one occasion, and it kind of comes off as though the women are not taking heed of what the men are saying. They just want to keep hearing it over and over, but there's no action, there's no follow through.
I agree. The pep talk has been given lots of times, but nobody's taking action. I mean, you can only talk about stuff so much before you're wasting your time.
I agree with my sisters, and also because they don't need to give that much instruction to a bunch of women. What are the women are going to do with all this information? The brothers are the ones who makes the moves and get things moving. The women, they've already put out the call to get covered, because your master at that point will get you moving and get that family going. So they need to be speaking to the brothers, and the single women, they've given an opportunity for you to know that you need to be a part of a man's house, a man of Yah's house, so you can be led and guided. I mean, and there's not much more they can tell you other than the basics. You're supposed to learn all of that from your master. So even if you won't even move on the little bit you are hearing, and the brothers have put themselves out there, then you're telling them apparently you don't want to be covered. You're your own master, or maybe you know best. So they can move on and talk to people who wants to hear.
I want to read what Mother K said. Mother K said, harden ears, hearts, and eyes.
Yes, 100%.
Let me ask y'all a question. Brother Andre, is it okay if I address Sister Key and Amy?
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
If Brother Andre, and then for y'all, me, if we have to tell y'all something 5 or 6 times before you move, what is that saying? Is it an error in what we're saying, or is the error in your hearing and doing?
It's an obedience issue as well as submissiveness.
Exactly. 100% on us.
Yep.
Man.
That's on us.
It is on us. It's just like for those who have children and know someone who has children, they're not going to want to tell their children something 5 or 6 times. They'll be like, why do I have to tell you this all these many different times? I said it once or maybe twice. You should be moving on it. But then we expect something different for us. So yeah, and I mean, and anything else, like your boss or whatever wouldn't have to tell you that many times something. So why would your husband or why would someone else? And our masters don't. It's like they said, it's an obedience and submissive issue. It shouldn't take that many times for someone to, because you can hear it, you know how to obey, you know how to follow directions. So it shouldn't take that many times for your master, husband, Lord to tell you something before you do it.
It's a hard issue.
I was gonna say, can I ask y'all who have ever had a job, you sisters, how many times, if you expect to excel at where you work, how many times should your boss tell you something before you do it? And is he going to promote you if he has to tell you things 5 and 6 times?
Oh no, it'll be the opposite.
Woo!
Emotion.
Or
So I
walking.
guess. Oh, go ahead, Sister Amy.
I'm sorry. I said, or walking papers. You wouldn't stay.
Damn. So I guess the question is why do these sisters feel the need to have us continually talk about a topic that we've already said? If the answer is still get covered. I only speak one language. I can't say that in tongues. You know, I know some of y'all might need me to say it in tongues, or need Brother Andre to say it while speaking in tongues, but we don't do that. So how many times do you have to hear get covered for you to get covered?
I think they don't believe necessarily. They want you to give them another way. There has to be another way.
Woo!
It's like when y'all talked on the stream before about counseling. The brothers were talking about counseling, and our master, since I've met him, even before the faith, said he didn't believe in counseling. That he tried once, you know, from a church, previous marriage, whatever, or watch his family. He said, I don't believe in counseling. He said, really, what do you need? What are you going to do, or what are you going to say different than what is needed to be said? If the Bible says everything, what are you going to say? And I love this example where he said he's going to tell the wife, obey your husband. Well, what if this? Obey your husband. What if this? Obey your husband. Submit. Listen. Obey. Well, what if he's doing this? Then obey him. And what if he does this? Again, obey him. Is this going to be a repeat of the scriptures? And if that's the case, why do you need to come to a counseling? Because your own husband at home can say the exact same thing or go over those exact same scriptures he's going to cover. So then that means you want him, you think that there's something else, like that when the situation changes or the circumstances change, you think that the answer changed. And that's really actually how we've been trained too, just to believe like that. Like this only applies if everything lines up in this way. The moment it doesn't, there's another way. And I think that started Christianity and just the way we've been operating, but that's not what it is. So the answer's the same. There's no reason for you to look for any other answer. You're looking for them to give you a way out.
I think another thing too, the women, especially the ones that want to be covered, they have to be attentive, to pay attention to what's going on with the men. The men are shifting their what's important or what they need to get done right now in these times. So it's not a time to where you can hold your feet or think that a man is fixed to conform to what it is that you want, or he need to chase you down. Those times are over. You need to go with the change.
Yes.
Did you say those times are over? You mean men aren't running around trying to chase women down and baby come back?
Woo.
Look what you were doing to me. There is something. Men aren't doing that anymore?
No, brother, that was for the beaches. That ain't for us.
Oh, okay.
we got to be doing planting gardens. Getting stuff ready for the family.
He said those were the Bee Gees.
Go ahead. No.
You said something like what?
No, I was gonna say, like the sister said, that our master has talked a lot to the women on past streams and things like that. And for him to keep, it would be just being repetitive. So really, our master, like they'll mention here, here or there during the streams when they're talking to the brothers, they'll talk to the sisters still sometimes, but it just won't be solely to them. Mm-hmm. So being that our master has basically heavily covered the women on past live streams, past videos and stuff like that, the best thing for the women who want more information or want to hear what our master and other brothers have said and spoke to the women would be to go to those past streams and videos and listen to those versus them keep covering and speaking to the women, and to the women who are not even gonna, they're probably not gonna do anything in the first place with that information. And so they want to move on to the brothers so that they can build each other up and start building each other up and start having the brotherhood that that y'all is calling for them to have. And so yeah, that's what I would say. You want to hear what our master and other brothers and what he said previously to the women, I would just say go to the past streams and videos and things of that nature.
One more thing I was gonna add was Sister Keisha said something in it. I remembered like she said, the timeouts for that, like women want to be women want attention. Women are attention.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that. I was going to say that.
Women are attention seeking. So when they're popping in and out, the reason they ain't moving on anything is because they're attention seeking. They want to be swooped up like it has always been. Like, what man don't want to swoop me up? Or what man don't want to come, like, he needs to come get me. I popped up in the street, now you come get me or something like that. Like they still think that things are like these are still operating that way where it's like you need us, but they don't. And they found out biblically they've never needed you like that. You need them. They don't need you. Like the brothers say this. Out. Yeah, we sure did. we found out too. But the brothers have a saying where they say it's a no until it's a yes. But it's like even one of those things, they don't need you until they need you. So if they don't need you actually until they know they need you. And they're not going to find out they need you by you wanting them to chase you down. They're going to find out they need you when you come and do your part, when you come and you submit and you give that honor to where it belongs. And then they're going to show you, okay, now I need you. But they don't need you until they need you. They don't gonna know that by you saying, come get me. And, like you're the prize. If you operating off of that, they're going to be like, bye. You're going to be like, well, I ain't doing nothing until you come get me. They're going to be like, I guess you're just going to be over there then. Yep. They're going to be, so.
Sister Key, Amy?
I think another thing too, men are calling the women out on their BS.
Woo!
Watch the live streams and all that stuff and glean. But when you're doing the gleaming, I guess this would be a tip. When you're doing the gleaming, don't gleam to where you're using it and you're just repeating what they're saying. You don't really believe what you're repeating. You're just saying because you think it's going to impress the man. And then you go all this time and they figure out, hey, she don't really mean it. She just talking
about man,
what she think we would like to hear. So hey, just make sure it's genuine.
Hey, they be talking to me a lot about that. They say the women, a lot of times because of the way we be talking, because we be trying to be just straight with people, the women normally, and brothers, you got to be aware of this stuff. Normally it's sad and they take it like this, but it's all like we coaching them. And that's the thing, and I'm gonna be honest with you, that's why I don't really want to say nothing about no women no more. I remember one day Brother David was like, let's don't talk about it no more. And we always basically on the same stuff. I think the week before that, FY was like, shit, I'm tired of talking to these women. I said, shit, I get tired of talking about them too. Let them be. We used to talk like this. Like I think it was a military saying, kill them all and let God sort them. Yeah. Meaning, hey, they on their own. But what time they get on the meal, they say, you know, y'all really be coaching these women so they can slide up in the houses because they say exactly what y'all say. They just put their own spin on it.
Right.
So those are the things we have to be careful, because I think we put some questions out. I think one time LY say, ask the person, what is it that you can bring to my home, or something along them lines. And I remember I threw that out there to a person one time. Man, they ain't have nothing to say. They couldn't
Nope.
think of nothing on their own. Hey, what is it that you would be bringing to this family? What is it that you have to offer that I would find use of? You know, it be outside of, and I made sure I preference outside of physicality,
Right.
outside of finances. They'll never have a good answer.
Right. That's
So
right.
that's what Key talking about right there. We got to just watch, because they be trying to be slick, creeping into the houses with working your game on you when you just be.
That's it. That's it. They know exactly what to say because they watch the live streams, and they just regurgitate everything that we have said right back to us. They got the cheat sheet. They got the Cliff Notes version.
Y'all impressed? It was your word.
Yeah, it was my words. Like, did you just repeat my live stream to me?
Yes.
Did you just say exactly what Brother Andre said? I saw something that Mother Kate said about the older women, and I want to respond to that, Mother Kate. I think the problem is, see, there's a lot of women out there that shoot videos and try to tell the younger women that eating vegetarian or cooking this wonderful meal makes you a good wife. I know a lot of women that were great cooks, but not submissive.
Man.
A lot of women that could cook some bomb meals, and that's what a lot of the older women, they're not teaching the younger women how to be wives, how to raise children, because these older women themselves are not married. They've abandoned their marriages. They don't ever give the younger women advice on how to be a wife. They're giving these younger women advice on, arguing about scriptures and is Paul legit, and because you mentioned the person, in the chat. Well, on that person's Facebook, they're arguing about whether Paul's legit or not. And I'm sitting here like, how is that teaching the younger women how to be wives? How is, all the things that we see in the faith today, how is posting up what you made for dinner? It's amazing that a lot of the older women are afraid to touch on the things that the younger women are doing. Like, hey, you need to stop joining houses and leaving. Man. You need to stop whoremongering. You need to stop being anti-submissive. They don't ever touch on those areas. They touch on the areas of, hey, look at this food, or look at this new skirt I made, or look at how I can do my head covering. That's not teaching the younger women how to be wives, how to honor their husbands, how to raise households, how to build a household. These are the things that women today don't understand. They understand all the other stuff. They'll get that stuff down, pat, But what about being a wife? That's what we're missing today in the culture. That's what the older women aren't teaching. And like you were saying, Mother Kate, a lot of these women are hard-hearted. They don't listen. Well, nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about the hard-heartedness, the anti-submission. We're showing, hey, look, you can tell I'm a good woman because I made this great dinner. No, that just means that you are a good cook. Or look at this wonderful skirt that I made. That tells you I'm a good, I'm an honorable mother in Israel. No, doesn't say that at all. It just means that you might, work good in a sweatshop. But so we've confused what being a wife is with what being a good business owner is, or being a good employee. Most women today are great employees and terrible wives.
Damn.
Most women today know how to honor a boss, reverence a boss, respect the boss, but they don't know how to be a wife. They will persevere more at work Their boss says, hey, go over there and do this and shut up. I'm not hearing all this. She knows that if she argues, she's going to lose her paycheck. So she swallows that, goes over to her desk, sits down, and completes her tasks for the day. Husband says the same exact thing that her boss just said, and she's ready to leave. That boys. Those are the things that I don't understand, and those are this is how the faith has become what it is, which is nobody's teaching anybody. Everybody's running rampant, doing their own thing. So the streams like these, I think, are very important, where they get to hear from a women's perspective, so that they can hear, oh, there are people out there actually living this thing. They're living the book. These wives are actually concerned about pleasing their husband first and foremost, not pleasing their boss, not pleasing their mama or their daddy. Check this out, sisters, not pleasing themselves. A lot of sisters today are simply in marriage to please themselves. Listen, if you want to please yourself, buy a cat and a dildo.
Oh, snap.
You don't need a husband. I'm just being for real. Yeah, or a dog. Get a cat or a dog. Even a parrot or.
That's fine.
But you're not really looking for a husband. You're looking for somebody to meet that rejection. You're looking for somebody to pay your bills. You're looking for somebody to get in bed with you at night. Which seems to be, a lot of these women, like, all these men are interested in is sex. Listen, I've ran across more women who are more interested in sex than I am. I'm trying to plant a garden. I'm trying to provide food on the table. I got a vision that I'm trying to operate in. You know what? For the season that we're in right now, me having sex with you every single day is not part of that vision. What is part of that vision is planting them potatoes out there, though.
Yes, sir.
And then harvesting them. I'm just saying.
I'm doing it, brother. Hey, you said something earlier that was really important. When the people leave a job, they know that ain't nothing coming away from them revenue-wise, finance-wise. But they have respect for men or husbands because they know when they leave there, 50% of the revenue and finances go with them.
Ooh.
They only have to be there a set time before it's already marked off. And this is whether you married through the state or common law. They know that they got 50% coming their way to keep them doing what they do, to keep them operating in that rebellion.
And even if they get no finances, they know, hey, there's no punishment for me hopping from penis to penis, man to man, household to household.
Right.
All I'm gonna do is go ahead, brother.
The other thing too is that, see, our penalties or what would normally be enacted on us via the law in Torah, see, that stuff ain't acted upon us right now. See, if a woman knew I can't just jump out of this man's house because I see something, I mean, like, we didn't got to see this. I see a guy that looks more righteous than the man I'm with, I want to leave. See, if they really knew that type of adulterous spirit, you got the penalty at that moment or at that time or that judgment came, a big rock was being hurled at you till you died. Respect the law. We will respect the husbands. Men will respect those high. So everybody running around here on this, whether we believe it or not, we run around here on this grace BS that religion have gave us.
Yeah.
So just do what you want to do. Don't worry about it, sister. You don't have to respect that man. You in charge. Who got the big draws on around here? You. Who gonna get his money if you leave? You. Who can have babies with him? Leave him distraught
and carry the babies off for some other man to possibly kill, harm, maim, molest, or rape you.
Yeah.
All the power being given over to them, so that's how they act. Because they don't serve Yah, they actually serve the world. They're more, guess what? Think about it. They're more concerned with the laws of the land than they are the laws of Yah.
Woo.
Exact penalty on you right now. After
Yep.
you call due process. And I think that's backwards if we're living for the Most High. I mean, if a woman is going to be obligated to a man in marriage, well, I just say this. That's what it is. Till death do you part. Not till you figure out a loophole to get out of a marriage.
Man.
Or until you, like I said, I've met women, they are supposedly so, I want to honor the Most High, they almost break the man down by saying, I just give you one example. I know women that say stuff like this. Let's say their husband was not following the commandments, following Torah at all. But they were. They'll say stuff like, oh, I won't be making anything on Shabbat. Now they know their husband is not honoring the Torah. But let's say he say, baby, can I get some grits? Oh no, I'm not supposed to cut that stove on Shabbat.
There he is.
Stuff like that the whole time until that man finally says, you gotta go, or either I'm leaving.
Yes.
Run off and get with a so-called man of Yah. And then guess what they do? That man of Yah catches hell because he think that this sister was done wrong when really she just ran her husband off.
Woo!
Now that woman runs around and think there's no penalty for that. She thinks she was right because guess what? She heard from her pastor that you can serve the Most High. Don't worry about your husband. He a heathen.
Right.
Lied to you. Your burnt up. He might as well have thrown gasoline on you himself.
Right.
Ain't no way in hell that should be happening. So I can just tell you, I know me and my house, they know I got a low tolerance for just crazy stuff. Like when I hear a woman leaving their husband for just period, he ain't put his hands on you. He just told you to shut up, and you got a problem with that. Maybe you just need to realize you need to shut up.
Ooh.
Take that in before you just run off. He told me to shut up. Verbal abuse. I need to go to a psychiatrist now. I need to take him for everything he got. That's the kind of women we got running around in Israel now.
That's it. That's it.
So I know that our families see these. Matter of fact, they see more schizophrenia. They'll tell you. I'm gonna let them tell you. They see more schizophrenia in women than we do as men. Sometimes I have been talking to somebody, and when I say talking to somebody, I don't mean rapping strong. I mean, I'm the type of nigga I like picking you apart. I'd be like, hey, call so-and-so or text so-and-so, see what their conversation like. And they'll tell you, they see more women schizophrenic than we do as men because women see things in women that we don't.
That's right.
They smell the game coming.
That's right.
But either way, I let them go ahead and jump on that. Oh, hey, I know I'm going to throw this out there. When you're on the phone with some of the people, what are the things they're going to, just any of the people you can name?
Wait, Brother Andre, real quick, can I ask all the sisters a question? Because Mother Kate made a great question point. House jumping is adultery, is it not?
Yes, sir.
So for these sisters that are, I'm leaving and I'm going to spend some time by myself and then jump in somebody else's house, what Brother Andre said is, y'all brothers better be careful with this stuff because you're bringing in a curse. You're bringing in a cursed object or a cursed person into your house. Where in the Bible does it say that a person can say, I don't want to be here no more, I'm getting up and leaving? And I'm still Israel and I'm going to go join to another man's house. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Brother,
Brother David finna jump in?
Watch this. There it is.
I tried to just watch.
Uh-oh.
But Man, I'm not sure why this picture is not in portrait mode like it should be wider. I have to fix it.
You're both coming in clear over here. You're coming in clear over here.
Okay. Well, keep talking. I'll hop in here in a minute.
All right.
Yes, sir. What was you saying, FY?
Tanisha said she wanted to say something about what we were saying. So
go ahead. I was getting too excited, bro, when I saw my brother jump in.
Yay.
Oh, wait, hold on. And then what you're about to experience now, for those of you who are tuned in, every first day we have family calls. So what you're about to actually partake of is what the family call dynamic is like. We hope you appreciate this opportunity.
Unscripted to the max.
Unscripted. Brother David said basically he was resting. He wasn't going to be on. Bam.
Hey, I said I wasn't coming on. And Sky, when did you find out that you were coming on?
About 180 seconds ago.
All right, go ahead.
My master was just talking about that women believe they can do this because there's no penalty and judgment, or they feel like there's no penalty. They're just gonna go back and do the same thing they've done before they join the man's house to begin with. But okay, so really, it's like women, whether they do it consciously or subconsciously, number one, they spoiled. So it's not only that they are rejected and they want to be chased, but they're spoiled because no one's ever checked them on their attitude or behavior, even coming up. Half the time you ain't checked because you ain't got no parents to check you. And the ones who do have parents to check you, they encourage you to do the same thing, to operate off the same society. So you're not being checked. So when a man tells you to shut up, that's harsh to you. But it was probably normal before. And you probably got that fear if you had somebody to tell you, shut up, you're talking too much a few times, it probably scared you enough to know, oh, okay, I'm doing something wrong. But everyone has allowed you to have a voice out of place, you know, and haven't taught you how to use it. So if a man say, shut up, it's like the harshest thing ever. But really, if you didn't have that training and thinking and you weren't so spoiled, then you wouldn't think it was harsh. You would be like, oh shoot, I don't want to do that again. I must have did something wrong. I'm you know, and it may be a battle, but it wouldn't be like so devastating, like something just happened to you. But because of it, you know, so women think they have the right to leave because they're spoiled. They're spoiled little brats. The society, because they give them everything and they cater to the emotions, I don't even think women always do it consciously, like that's their intent. They really do believe that something is happening to them. It's real because that's what they've been taught. And because they've been catered to so much and they could cry, I do believe subconsciously, we believe that Yah feels the same way.
Whoa.
Like people treat us like that poor woman. That poor woman.
Man.
And you cry and you're weak. And because the Bible acknowledges your weakness, whether you do it consciously or subconsciously, I do believe that we think that Yah feels the same way. Like, you're like, oh, I'm so upset and this, and Yah's like, that poor woman. Oh, come here. You know, like he feel the same way. I can understand that man was so mean because that's what everyone else tell you. Like, everybody's just so mean. And somebody's just mean to you. So I think when they see that Yah's graceful, I think that's kind of somewhat how it's imagined. Even if they ain't really thought about it, I think it's just a subconscious thing that happens where you're like, Yah's grace toward me because he understands that, man. He told me to shut up and open my mouth again. And when that one time he did this, like, you really think he's like, yeah, because everyone else always have done that. It catered to you. And so I think that schizophrenia or that that mindset, I don't think that double-mindedness and whatever is always a matter of like, oh, they're just sick. Society is just sick. They teach you sick. So they teach you so off. So when men are very conscious to this now and they're understanding the word and they take away that, you look crazy now. But this was just normal just not too long ago when everyone didn't know, when everyone was just operating off this, everything's normal. But when their blinders are coming off and they're learning the word and like the order and they're putting things back in order, now you look like a psycho. and you don't even know you look like a psycho because you're like, this has always been it. My mama did it, grandma did it. You know, this is a normal everyday act. So I think like those things, I think those things are what causes like this sort of thing. So really, I'm not saying, so women are definitely need to be accountable to this, and they need to know you're operating off the same old man before. So to a man of Yah, you look crazy. You're a psycho right now. That doesn't mean you can't change. He, you know, I guess the men on their part, whatever they got to realize between the men ain't my business. But I think as they're learning, they're trying to learn how to work with the women. Like, listen, they're trying to tell you this is crazy because this is not the book. And this is how you get to the right spot. And you got to be able to hear that. You got to realize I'm operating off of something very crazy, backwards, because this is what I was taught, you know, and this is how I look to a man of Yah, and this is what changes need to be made. But on the other end, if men themselves are not holding women accountable, and I'm not talking about necessarily in your personal homes, because the men gonna do that. Once they know that they're a man and y'all put them in a position, they gonna make sure, hey, you ain't the authority around here. So that's gonna be being worked out behind the scenes. But outside, for women who want to join a man's house, if men don't hold them accountable because either they don't know their position, their power, authority, or they're in fear, or they're just so desperate to have a bunch of women or even one woman, whatever, then you are the United States government or whoever, whatever government, no matter if this one or next one. You're like these same societies who are promoting these women to cry and making them think that y'all's like, oh, baby, my little daughter over there, because that's what they think.
I just want to step in there real quick. And what she's saying there is true, because a lot of men, you will hear a story of a woman who left another brother's house.
Yep.
And you will sympathize for that woman. Here's my thing. I would ask one question. Where's your bill of divorce? Oh, well, I was scared, so I left. No, you weren't scared. No, you weren't. You weren't scared. Shut up. So essentially, you are still a married woman. You are just separated from your husband. Therefore, I have no right to talk to you at all. And the fact that you even approached me lets me know you're an adulterous woman too. But see, men, we be pulling that full, feeling sorry for her. What was that, brother?
And how many times does that happen? Just so y'all know, we're not theorizing here. This is real life. This is how dirty y'all roll and operate. How many times does that happen, Brother Chris? Do we turn away, would you say a few women, or has it been the norm for us? I'm talking about us three brothers here, because we actually care about what y'all says. So we're not just taking any woman. Do we do our due diligence and say, why are you even talking to us? Would that be a few times, or does that happen frequently?
Brother, I would venture to say, and I'm being conservative in this, over 75 to 80% of the women that we have turned away were women who had either left the man's house or were still in the man's house trying to join our house.
100%.
75. Think about this, brothers. I had a woman who tried to join my house who was currently married. There were children in the background. She said those were her nieces and nephews. Tanisha found her because she was on somebody else's channel talking about, and we've been talking to her for how long? A couple months? Couple months. Tanisha saw a post from this woman and said, yeah, me and my family and my children, we love this channel. You know, I have 5 children and I'm working as a stay-at-home wife. And I was like, wait a minute, you've been talking to us for, and she had her head covering on. She had her Hebrew name.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, she had an Egyptian. She had an Egyptian name that she thought was a Hebrew name. And this woman was married, brothers. Married. This just goes to show you that, and you know what? These women are used to men not asking the questions and not saying, wait a minute, are you married? Where's your ex-husband? Where's your father? Where's some sort of representative that's going to speak for you? Oh, well, I was with this brother and he was from this camp. That's why I left. The Bible don't say you can leave because he's part of a camp. So where'd you get that from? So you in sin, you know that, right? You're an adulterous woman, you know that, right? We see, you know how some of y'all brothers are. She fine. She got a big old ass. She got you seeing her ass and titties before you know her whole circumstance, and you already lusting over her.
You didn't even think to look for Bill because you was just looking at TNA.
Ooh.
There was a point on that.
Thank you for sure.
The point that I was leading to with that is, you know how our masters and our brethren always tell us this, you know, about us having the fear of Yah. And if, like for a woman, you know, your fear of Yah, if you're already married, will be, you know, to how you honor and reverence what the book say to the husband. You know, if you ain't doing that, anything you else you're doing is fruitless. But for a man, and then you think about a woman coming to join a man and everyone having the fear of Yah on the men's angle, and I asked my master, can I say this first? Like this area on the men's angle, if the men don't have enough fear of Yah to be like, if I'm not careful who comes in my house, I'm going to be an adulterer because you've already experienced how these women are. You know what you experienced with your own current wives. Like, if we're real, we know what all the stuff, you know, all the work you went through with your own current wives, especially if you got her out the world, you know what you went through, or they're just newer to the faith and we still have these mindsets. You already know what you experienced just in that. And so when you're getting a woman out here and you start having these experiences and then you put that together with what the Bible, all the warnings is telling the man about a woman, then how do you then move on when a woman comes around and you see what you've been through with your own current wives, you see what you've been through with how women just roll and flow, just how you've been dealing with them, and you think you don't have to search for that, like, because I don't think people are constantly putting their head, if I do not have a good pick, it's not just about whether she gonna leave you in your feelings or something, or how much vagina. It's not just about all of that. You're likely to lose your soul because let that woman be married. The Bible already said you go into a married woman, not only she's an adulterer, but she made you an adulterer. So if the men were thinking from that perspective, like every woman has to get checked so thorough because she can make me an adulterer. It didn't say, well, if the man knows all this information, then he's gonna do that. Like y'all always teach us, we only get so many passes, and so as he gives examples, whether it be from one house to the next and stuff, at some point it's gonna be like, you knew, yes, master, you knew this, whatever. So that's all I want to say about that. Like, I think that men, yes. So that's all I want to say about that.
I'm surprised y'all's camera ain't melted over there. That was some fire. You came in with some nukes, just bam. Brother Chris, you doing a good job over there, brother. You too, brother Andre.
Yes, sir.
Hallelujah.
No, you are too.
Hey, yes, sir.
I wasn't even gonna get on here because I ain't gonna talk too much because I'm trying to breathe. But I did want to say this, and as I said a minute ago, like I had already said, I wasn't coming on, and Scott didn't find out till literally like less than 2 minutes before we got on the screen. I said, "No, come in here. We're gonna hop in here real quick." So this is all unscripted stuff. But lest anyone think, you know, I would never want anyone to feel like we're scripted or that we're, you know, we're partial. We're only going to show you, you know, the highlights of the, you know, high points or whatever. Hey, this is the same stuff that us three brothers and these families talk about within our own houses daily.
Yes.
You don't see Brother Andre, Brother Chris, or myself, you know, turn on the camera, turn into one person where you're talking to other women, but then you go behind the screens, you turn the camera off, and you we let our wives run the show. That's not how it goes. That's not how it goes at all. I was sitting here laughing because some of the same things that I was hearing Sister T talk about, you can sit down too if you want. You just got to change your shirt. And I don't even care if you have a head cover, but you can change your shirt. Anyway, this is the same stuff. I was just tightening the wrench over here a little bit, saying the exact same words. Woo! And I, as always, or most of the time, I say, I'm not having to tighten the wrench because of issues between a sister and myself, because I'm easy in the sense that it's easy for them to just get along with me. That's the easy part. But I tighten the wrench when it comes to them and their relationship with one another. But it was interesting that was one thing that was hit on here was the emotions. Emotions
Yes.
ruling the day, leading the day. I just literally got finished talking to them about basically, if you're not doing what I'm saying, if my words are not carrying enough weight so that you are a doer and not a hearer only of my words, then you just need to admit to the fact that your L, your God is your emotions. And you serve self. So I just wanted folks to know, because I wasn't even going to get on here. First, because I feel bad, and secondly, y'all were doing an excellent job. But I was just hearing the things being said, like, nah, I just think that I should share, so people don't feel like, because we're all about transparency.
Yes,
Good,
sir.
the bad, the ugly. Hey, none of us are perfect. None of our homes are perfect. But I would hate for any sister out there to mistakenly think that you're going to join the Rock, you're going to join Shalom, or you're going to join Mothland, and then come over to where it's like happy ever after, where these three men are just going to let you run your program. That shit could be the furthest thing from the truth.
Yes, sir.
And it's one thing for us to say if it's just the three of us, Brother Andre, Chris, and myself talking. It's a whole different thing that y'all can hear us say these things and know that we mean it. And we ain't hiding anything. Our ribs are right here next to us. So we're not trying to like get on here and grandstand and stage play. We're just telling you, we're giving it to y'all how we live it, is my point.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
And the vast majority of these women, as I heard someone say earlier, and I put in the comments, I think the real issue most of the time is that women today are just selfers. That is their God, self.
Truth.
Self.
Truth. And when you say that, brother, it comes down to those feelings that they have.
Yes, sir.
I feel this way. And I'm gonna put something out there for all y'all who are listening, and all y'all who are listening are gonna listen afterwards. Have y'all ever threatened to leave?
Threatened to leave?
Yes. Okay. Have any of you ever left?
Hey, y'all can answer too, because I'm gonna be quiet. But FYI, you can fire questions this way as well.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So wait.
Yes, master.
You what? What did you do? Wait. What did you do? What did you do?
I left the property.
Oh my! I want to share something with y'all. This is the irrational emotions and feelings that y'all have when it comes to marriage. This one right here, who is so ashamed right now, she got so emotionally disturbed. Check this out. And she walked off the rock down the road in the middle of nowhere over emotions. I drove and picked her up like, where are you going? And her response, and this is months, well over a year ago. Somewhere around there. So I drive by and I'm just driving next to her like, this don't make no sense. She's gonna walk and get eaten by a bear. Or kidnapped, and I'm gonna see her in the back of a milk carton like this. Have you seen me? Current height, weight, last time she was seen. And I asked her, what are you doing? I don't want to hurt you anymore, so I'm leaving. Wait, what? I don't want to hurt you anymore, so I'm leaving, so I don't want to hurt you anymore, so rather than fix it, I'm going to leave and hurt y'all more?
Yeah, them emotions be jacking folks up.
Right. So then, here's what I did. I said, get in the car. This is some dumb shit. This is the stupidest shit I have ever seen. No, not ever, because y'all do some really incredibly dumb shit. I got her in the car, brought her back. She left without her head covering, just wearing the idea. I was just sitting there like, this don't make no damn sense. Got her back on the property and called my brothers. Brother David, Brother Andre, y'all got, see, this is what I mean by brotherhood, y'all. You can have these conversations with your brothers, and your brothers ain't like, you know what? Yeah, Ebony, or at the time, Rivka, you should leave. And then as soon as she leaves, I see the next live stream, and I see Rivka at Brother David's house, Brother Andre's house. Like, wait a minute, what the? So after talking with them and asking and looking at her like, what were you doing? And her answer was, I don't know. Wait, what was your plan? I don't know. Why did you want to leave? Because I didn't want to make you, I don't want to hurt you anymore. But you did know that was going to hurt me more by leaving, right? I don't know. What's your name? I don't know. How old are you? I don't know. And literally every answer was, I don't know. So I'm just sitting there staring at her like, wait, so if you didn't want to be here, why did you come here? I want to be here. I love you. I love you so much. You're my everything. I'm so much of your everything you're leaving. Mm. Do y'all understand when we say schizophrenia? Tanisha did the same thing. I'm leaving. I just told her shut up. She's like, you know what? Since I'm not making you happy, I'm leaving. Shut the hell up and sit down. Sit your ass down. And she shut up and sat down. I said, that's proof you ain't leaving. Stop talking stupid. You're just talking stupid because your emotions are involved in this situation. And rather than thinking about it rationally, biblically, you know, daughters of Sarah and all that stuff, you get in your emotions. And then it becomes well, I'm emotional. See, the reason I'm sharing this with y'all, so that y'all understand that we have real things going on in our house too. I don't get up here on YouTube and give this portrayal as we are a perfect family. I give you the portrayal as we are a family who walk this out daily. Every single day we get up in the morning, I make the decision to be a servant to my master, a wife to my master. They have to make that decision also. And as soon as Satan sees the opportunity, as soon as your emotions deviate even the slightest bit from your master, your husband, the devil is right there. He is right. As soon as you have that one thought inside of your head that says, well, I don't think that he's right. Stop. As soon as you have that one thought that comes inside of your head and says, well, I don't think that he loves me. Guess who's there? That's right. He don't love you. He sure don't love you. Man, all he's doing is providing food and clothing, and, you know, he prays over you every night, and he loves you, and he cares for you. And if anything was bad to happen to you, he'd be right there. If there's a knock in the night, there he is outside, you know, sacrificing his health, sacrificing sleep. If the house needs money, he's gonna work his ass off to get it. I mean, shit, you can find that anywhere. He don't love you. And you believe that shit. You believe that idea that comes inside of your head that tells you that's true. That thought you just had, that's true. Brother David, you said that I could ask a question.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever had to go through that, Brother David?
Absolutely. Yeah, they both at times have acted like they have no common sense or didn't have their mind, which is literally what it was when when anyone would allow themselves to be ruled by emotion instead of what they know to be right and true. Absolutely.
That's right. And that's what usually is happening, is that at that moment in time, we men understand that you as a woman are actively fighting against the truth.
Yes, sir.
You have actively picked up your weapons that were supposed to be used for the house, and you are fighting against what the truth is. It's almost like the women try to push the man to the point where he says, get out, so that she can say, see, you don't love me. You don't love like, why are you pushing away? You're pushing the person away. And see, and really what it comes down to is that rejection, because you want a man to chase you down. You want to push the man and have the man cling on to you, because that makes you feel like you're worth something. I don't know where that comes from. So this is why.
Wicked system.
There it is. This is why we don't spend the time having these streams talking to women anymore, because the reality of it is the truth has already been put out there. Your fight is against it. You are actively fighting the truth. You are actively saying, I know what the book says. I know the book says this. I know what my job as a woman is. I know what my job as a wife is. I know what my job as a daughter is. I know what my job is, but I'm going to fight against what the Bible says. Because my emotions and how I feel is more important than what is the truth. The truth is that these men, we all love our wives. Deeply love our wives. Would give my life for them. But I'm not going to give my life for you because you decide to go out there and punch a mother bear in the face and then try to run back and be like, baby, it's coming after me. I'd be like, shit, you better run because I'm locking this front door. I got to save the rest of the smart people in this house right now. You see, you're not used to that. You're used to men chasing you down and risking his life for you. When you do some dumb shit, he's supposed to be out there rescuing you. You go out there and pick a fight with the biggest gangster in the world, and you're, oh, well, my man, he's 6'4" and he's 250 pounds. He can fight. And I go out there and I see him, I'm like, I can't fight. You on your own. Most women are not. You don't understand. I was reading the story of Sarah, the sisters today. Most of you women don't understand. When Sarah went before the king of the Philistines and the Pharaoh in Egypt and told them, I am his sister. Your emotions wouldn't let you do that. He's disowning me. He doesn't want me in his house anymore. He don't love me. And to be honest, most of y'all women today are too old to be having these 13-year-old emotions. That shit is when you were 13 in high school and you were writing love letters back and forth to your little boyfriend. We adults now, and we have emotions like 13 and 14-year-olds. Like y'all women just had your first period. This is adulthood. Go ahead, brother.
I would equivocate that to brothers still taking wives in, but not having the care and the forethought to check for that bill of divorce.
Oh,
not
shit.
Understanding the stakes. Brothers, we too old for that shit.
They take women.
Bringing the wrath of Yah down onto your households, destroying your whole homestead because you were more interested in what your eyes told you than fact checking and proving choosing to love Yah above your emotions.
True. Thomas Madison said, we will spend more time protecting women from themselves rather than external threats.
Oh, that's absolutely true.
That's the truth, brother. I mean, damn, every sister you see on this stream right now, all 6 sisters, they all got their own guns and they all can shoot. We have systems set up in all of our homesteads to protect the wives. But who's going to stop them? Or why is it that our biggest threat is not some shit hits the fan situation and some person comes on the property? It's our own wives destroying themselves. It's our own wives having a thought. It's them actively working against us as their husband. Brother Andre, you got anything?
I was gonna let them tell you about, and it really is in line with what y'all was saying. But I was gonna let them tell you about. I want to say maybe about 2 weeks ago, I had walked in the hallway, and I know earlier that week we had been talking about. I was talking to them about their love walk, uh, and I was reading them Corinthians 13. But I was just saying, I don't have to say a lot, but I'm always on. And I said that's the only thing I don't like sometimes is that as a man, you always on go, meaning your spirit meter is high. Like so, when people say stuff to me, and I'm not being smart about it, I'm just telling you what it is. When people say stuff like, "Well, do we operate under the Ruach Hakodesh?" That's craziness to me because men are always on. And I mean a man of God. You always on, you always like my meter for what's going on with my house is high, whether I say something to him about it or not. So I know a couple weeks ago I had brought them in they probably was doing their own thing, and I walked down on their side of the house and I said, I called everybody out their room, even my daughter, Sarah. I said, I want to talk to y'all for a minute, and I'm gonna let them tell you what we talked about, and you'll get the picture of what I'm saying. Y'all can wait.
He told us that he wanted us to make sure that we were spending time talking to each other weekly,
Oh,
not just time talking to him, that we need to be focusing on our relationship and spending time making sure that we're checking on our sisters and that everybody has an outlet to be able to talk through whatever they need to talk through.
I told him I didn't want superficial. They're not generally superficial, man. Matter of fact, it's been plenty of times I don't went down. Oh, I just say this. I want to go to bed a lot of times, and I'm like, okay, why am I so long? I'm thinking in my mind, why am I waiting so long on so and so? Because I'm ready to chill. Damn. I walk down there and they talking. They in each other's rooms or they talking to something. And so when I might creep down there and look, and then I'd be like, oh shit, I was talking. Never mind. It ain't important.
yep.
And I go back and
Yep.
well, I know it had been a while since I seen that, and it might have just been me, but I just something with you saying, you just remind them they need to talk more. And I know it's because I be checking up on their frequency. Meaning sometimes you can tell by how people respond to one another. And this for you men. Sometimes you can tell when on point by the way they respond to one another. Sometimes that shit be dripping with love. You be looking at them like, damn, that shit sounds syrupy. And then sometimes you'll hear it and it's kind of nonchalant, matter of fact, get out of my way type situation. And they don't literally say that, but it's the overall feeling and the tone of what they're saying is missing love.
Yes.
It's missing the degree that I demand in my house. I just go with that. It's missing
Yes,
what I
sir.
want for my household. So I say, well, hey, what's up with that? Or what did you say? Or where was that coming? Are you all right there? I ask people, you all right today? Because your whole conversation, what happened to you? Because and then I even pull off one of them and say, do you remember what she said yesterday to you? Wasn't that shit all syrupy? So I pull on them to remind them we know what you look like when you are feeling your best. And if you're not
Ooh.
best, it's okay for you to tell somebody, man, I feel like doo-doo. Did you pray for me? And aside from praying for me, could you help me with X, Y, and Z, whatever those tasks are? And really, they shouldn't even have to ask. But either way, that day I had said that night, I said, hey, I don't care if it's, I said, I at least want it once or twice a week, 15 minutes. I don't want no beat. I want y'all to just really lay it out. If you're having a bad week at work, lay that out. Keep you having a hard time getting together some of the stuff I want you to get together for these businesses within that time frame, whatever. Talk about it. They able to come to me or whatever, keep myself open. But if men only knew this house exists not only for the furtherment of what y'all want me to do, but it is a safe haven for them. So guess what? They need women need to act like that. If a man open up his house to you, you need to act as if, guess what? This place was built so that you can be a benefactor of it. Because technically, women outlive men. Let's be real here. So you ought to know we ain't building it for ourselves. We're doing it for sons and daughters. But also, the women receive a direct benefit from being with that man. So I can just be honest. I think as men, our expectations should be high in the love walk between sisters.
Yes.
They
Yes,
just
sir.
people say, "Well, you married to yeah, but damn, you married to the family. You married to this other sister, whether you know it or not, or whether you want to see it or not." So I just don't believe in that. We in the trenches. I mean, are you with me when we in the trenches and the fire is about to begin, or some intruders coming on the land? I need to know you with me in good times, and I more so need to know that amongst them. I need to be able to see if and when y'all decides to let go and, as Brother David put it, put my feet up and rest with my father, that all is well at the house of Kohelet. Or the
Yes,
house.
sir.
Right.
That's how we need to feel as men based on your fruit. Women's fruit, helpmeet's fruit, wives' fruit. And that's what I'll say. I can't trust you to raise, I just say this. I can't trust you to raise children the way I would have you do it, or even advise sons if I were not here, if you have not learned how to foster the right relationship, right? And that's just how I see it. So I had told him that. I was like, hey, man, y'all need to, I don't know what's going on, and I didn't fuss like that, really. But I told him after the person left my house, shit, I was like, tighten up. I see some walk that needs some adjustment. You already know who you are and how you do whatever, but I just say this. The same surfing you have on another when you're feeling all great, that need to period. Love walk don't have, if you look at the love walk in Corinthians 13, it don't have a bunch of excuses in there. I do this.
No.
I feel happy and talk to you nice and treat you with love and kindness and respect and honor and dignity as long as you kiss my behind or as long as you do nice things for me. It don't say that. Or if you never rebuke me even as a sister. They don't have none of them clauses in women feel right. But I'm gonna focus on women. It don't have it. For sister wise, y'all should be tight as Dick's hat band. I'm just saying tight. How you lose one another as far as your relationship. You should be able to see the sister having a bad day or struggle with something and say, hey sis, what's going on? And be honest enough with each other to tell them the real truth. And the real truth should never be based on how much time you get with your master. Because you ain't all of the time belong to the master. He dictates who gets some of his time. Outside of the Most High. And if you want to be real about it, my family, the brothers get more time than they get. I'll tell you. It's rare that I turn down brothers' phone calls. I have to knock this shit on the phone that's not with me. But I might put them on hold. On pause, they'll tell you.
No, sir.
I put that on pause. Hey, I get with you in a minute talking to the brothers.
Hey, I do the same thing, brother.
Go ahead, bro.
Do I do the same thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
We'll talk tonight.
Yeah, I tell them we'll talk tonight. You know, you hitting on something, brother. I was this week. We were planting some lettuce, and they were planting lettuce. I had given them the command to plant some lettuce, and I was planting some collards in a different garden. And I came by, and they were talking and giggling. The children were all around them. The children were playing, and they were talking and giggling in the garden, giggling. Do you think that I went over there and joined that conversation?
No, sir.
Sir.
I hit the brakes, and you heard beep, 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 as I went in reverse. I didn't even have anything to do over there. I started climbing trees, and I was trying not to skip. because it's an exciting thing when you see that. When you see them laughing and joking and giggling, and oh yeah, I'm about to plant this, and can you take the baby real quick? Sure, I'll take the baby and feed him. Okay, and they're just glad. I was like, oh, I need to get out of this situation quick. This ain't got nothing to do with me, because what you said right there is, when my time ends and I leave this earth, I still have a vision that they are that they are operating in. Brothers, if your vision ends when you die, you did not do an adequate job in your household.
I agree.
If you leave and the house implodes, that means
Say
that
that again,
you
brother
never.
Chris.
What was
Say
that?
again, brother. You gotta say that again, because you killing it. Say that again.
If when you die, your vision implodes, you did not do a good enough job. Or the sisters were bullshitting you and giving you the impression that they loved your vision, and they didn't. If you leave the earth and 2 months later, one wife goes back to her father's house, the other one, sells the land, you know what was really going on inside your house, brothers. You know it.
Hey, wouldn't that be an example of them making your house look like it actually never existed?
Yes. Yes. Mother, I saw Mother Bean, and she said wait a minute. She said, I took care of my co-wife with all my heart and energy, willingly assisting my master. She never lacked during her entire illness. We took care of her as one.
Man.
See, that's love.
Ooh,
that's love.
Hey, look at the other part Eva Bean just put in there. Now this gonna mess some folks up, because I want you to look at even the hierarchy and how that works. That shows how her heart was toward her. He said she was there for 30 plus years before me. I totally respected every fiber of her being. I saw her as my wifely role model.
Oh, man.
Now that's gonna throw some salt in the game for people who, just for your senior wife or junior wives, or however it goes as far as tenure. Because a lot of times they come in there and they don't even feel like that. See, that's what I'm talking about. Men do not want women a part of their home who do not feel like, do not operate like that. Like, I think I heard Keisha say this a long time ago. Now this is when things were still rocky, because Andre Davis didn't always do things the right way, and he didn't start out in polygyny the right way, meaning I didn't know all the steps. So I did a bunch of inverse, upside down type stuff, and other sinful things along the way.
Yes.
But one day Keisha said, you know what? If something was to happen to me, he said, I can see that Amy genuinely loves you and that she has a love for our children. And I believe that made her respect Amy more and grow to learn her and love her, and vice versa. I already know Amy said this to me before. She have said, you know what? If y'all was to bless us with a child, and let's say I didn't live through it, or some mess, she said, because I call that mess, but either way, the rest of it was good. She said that it would be an honor for Keisha to raise our child, because I can see the love she has for you and her kids, and I can see how she has been a good mother. Now, that's what I like to see, and that was in the midst of bullshit. The Andre Davis show. The Andre Davis shit show is what I call it. When I was on my own, doing my own. But what I'm trying to say is, I like that. That's what I'm gonna tell you something. That's what inspires good men. That's what inspires godly men of Yah. when we see our families, like West said, he want to go over there and start dancing. When he see women talk, I already know, Brother David, we love that stuff about wives. We love when they can
Yes,
press
sir.
the BS and look past themselves and see the needs or desires or those things in their sister.
Yes, sir. Because I already know they want to be around me. Why wouldn't they?
Right.
I already know
Right.
that.
Exactly.
I ain't looking for that.
Exactly.
I said the same thing earlier. You want to impress me? Love and be around your sister. Build her up.
Yes, sir.
I think it comes down to that. You know, do they really believe in that vision that you have? Because if they don't believe in it, they're going to tear it down.
And real belief equates doing, action.
Yes, sir.
Right. Yes. And that's what, I kind of look at them and I ask them, I say, do you believe in the vision? Do you see the vision? Do you see me operating in the vision? Do you see me operating in where y'all sent me to go? Do you have any question that I am operating and moving in the direction that y'all sent me? No, Master, we don't. So then why are you actively trying to tear it down? Why are you moving in that direction? Why are you pushing the family in that direction? How do you as a mother say, I love these babies, and you're tearing down that man's house? You're destroying his family while, one of the things I told the sisters, and I'm just being real, I said, one of the biggest liars I've ever met are women. A woman will look you in the face, will go to her children and say, I love these babies. I love our children. And then destroy you, man. Well, doesn't she know that those children are an extension of you? That's your seed. That's your lineage. That's your name. And she's tearing it down. What is love? Is it an emotion? So we have to get out of this emotional stuff. And I saw somebody have put up women deal with demons. Yes, I agree. Women do deal with demons. There is a demonic realm, but everything's not a demon. Some stuff is just a lack of self-control.
That's all I was getting at right there. And the period.
Not everything's a demon. Not every part. The Bible says, "Be ye transformed by the renewing in your mind." They don't mention one thing about it being a demon. I think oftentimes it's very convenient for us to say, hey, I'm dealing with a demon. Well, if you can say you're dealing with a demon, you're probably not dealing with a demon. If you can tell me it's just a demon, I can guarantee you it's probably not a demon.
Yes, sir.
There's a certain characteristic when I read the Bible, because I've heard a lot of I'm gonna be real. Ever since the idea that demons exist came out, I have seen countless people use demons as their excuse for a lack of self-control and discipline. Why'd you go and grab that woman's ass? I just got a demon. No, you have a lack of self-control. I can't shut up. I've got demons. No, here's proof that you don't have a demon. If somebody broke into the house and pointed a gun at you and say one more fucking word, I'm gonna blow your brains out. You're not gonna say, well, I've got a demon, I gotta talk. You're gonna master the art of shutting up. What was that?
They would just say, I just got deliverance.
Exactly. Just that moment right there, you're gonna shut up, which proves you ain't got a demon. Here's another way I know a lot of y'all ain't got demons. A lot of y'all say, I have a demon, that's why I can't stop talking. I have a mouth problem, it's a demon. But then when you go in front of your pastor, you should know how to be, yes, sir. Shalom, pastor. Shalom, bless you. This is Sister Christina. Oh, glory, hallelujah. What happened to that demon? Because when I look at demonic possession in the Bible, people be doing things that are completely off because they ain't got no control. And being that somebody that has done deliverance on people that literally have demons, you'll see they don't have a control over that demon. It controls them. That's a big difference. So we have to get to the realization and stop trying to find excuses for our lack of self-control, our lack of discipline, our lack of growth. That's not a demon, that's you. That's your choice. The Bible says in the book of Joshua, choose you this day whom you will serve. That's a choice. We have to acknowledge, hey, I'm choosing to be a hoe over being holy. I'm choosing to destroy this man's house rather than build it. I'm choosing to hate my sister, to hate my brother. Don't put it off on that. Well, they did something to me. No, you're choosing that moment. Am I going to hate them? Am I going to try and tear them down? So we got to get past this bullshit of, well, you don't understand. I do understand. Believe me, men got emotions too. There are times that I'm like, I want to tell this trick, get the fuck out of my house. Get the fuck out. And then I say, you know what? I can't do that. Now I could say, get the fuck out. I just got a demon possession, demon alert. Believe me, I didn't mean it. No. We have to own it. That's why we said yesterday in Revelation 2 and 3, when Yeshua was talking to the churches, he tells the people to overcome. We have to practice the art of overcoming these obstacles. When you look at our patriarchs, they overcame. When you look at the people in the book, they overcame. And then there were instances where there is a time for deliverance. But deliverance is not your excuse for acting in a disrespectful or out of control manner. That's you making a choice. See, what a lot of people don't realize, you blame on demons your actual agreements with Satan. You've made a conscious agreement with Satan. Satan came with the contract. Hey, baby girl. Hey, I can give you, let's say, the knowledge of good and evil. I can give it to you. All you gotta do is make this contract with me. Eat this apple, eat this piece of fruit, eat it. And we have a contract. Imagine if Eve was like, oh my gosh, a talking snake. I have a demon. No, she made a choice. Sisters, y'all have choices to make. There it is, Nat Media, to escape accountability. That's exactly what it is, to escape accountability. And I'm saying this because, I worked with demonically possessed people. I worked in 5150 and 5250 facilities where people said they saw little green men in their cups and there was somebody behind them telling them to kill me and shit like that. Let's be real. Let's just be real. I see something on HOQs. I see movement in the house of HOQ.
Because joking, they talking about the wives be looking like hostages, and I don't know, but I done been to each of these brothers' houses, and I'm gonna just tell y'all. And I know y'all just kidding and stuff, but shit, these are the most freest people I know. All of them are hyper intelligent, and I mean super intelligent. They're the most productive people I ever seen in my life. Everybody I know got their own weapons, so if they wanted to kill us, they literally could. If they wanted to walk out the door, they can. Shalom is not careful down. And that's just for the other people. That's for outside. I know. Same way with Mothman, same way with The Rock. So yeah, I mean they free. Matter of fact, these people come and go as they want to go. I don't have time frame. I used to say, hey man, what time be back? Now most of the time when they go places, if they have to go somewhere, they like 6:10. I'd be like, I wasn't asking. I know. I'm good. I'm chilling. So yeah, they probably the most freest people, but I guess what I say is I'm just gonna let them say whatever on their heart to say because I know they be having stuff or whatever. And I think really what helped me from every house, what you said is good stuff because some of the stuff I didn't think about. Like I didn't think about what Sister T said for a minute that women don't need until they need you. Well, only one problem with that. The time, I think the time elapsed for that. If I can just say it like that, just to be honest, I think now, well, men are so hyper focused. A lot of men focus on what's coming up in a way of taking care of your family. So, hey, by the time people, or you call yourself needing a man, he gonna be looking at what you bringing to the table, and it can't be the same stuff that you, I guess, showing on your social media. Because we could basically that stuff that it can't be how good of a cook you are. Now I say that.
Brother Andre, can you closer to the camera a little bit? You're breaking in and out.
Yeah, what I was saying is we at a time now, man. Shoot, it's either put up or shut up. I'll just say as for me, and I'm just being honest. I always look at myself and say, what more can somebody offer me? And I'm not being smart about it. I'm being honest. What more can you offer?
That's true.
What more can you bring to the family that I ain't already got? I ain't asking for finances. I think I'm pretty good. I'm not asking for more under yonder. I'm pretty straight. I mean, most people don't know this, but after a while, you like, well, how much under yonder can you store? Just saying. Woo! How much of that can you store up? So, I mean, I think it's coming a time where for the women that's running around here saying stuff like, well, I'm checking my options, or the player type women, you lining up 3 or 4 different brothers, you talking to them all at the same time, you trying to figure out which one you can get in to go to Tabernacles with or go to see some other brother's place. We know y'all out there. We watch that kind of stuff. They'll tell y'all, some of the people we won't even sponsor because we like, hell no. They just want to get in to see how things work. No, we don't do that. But that time is coming to a close, whether they know it or not. The worse things get outside of our properties, the less likely a man is going to invite you in to do anything for him, even if it's in a servant capacity. Watch and see.
Yeah. Yes. You said something right there. You said something right there. I think a lot of women see relationships, marriage, being a servant, whatever it is, as a tryout. I want to try this out. I want to see if I want to be married. So I'm going to go get married and see if I want to be married. And then when I realize that I don't want to be married, I'm just going to leave. I'll make a hasty exit. And that's really telling what's going on in that person's heart.
Yes, sir.
Because I don't try out. Yeah. No. I didn't pick up this book and say, well, I'm going to try it out. And if it works out for me, then, I'll keep doing it until no. Once the truth hits you and you realize the Bible is real, the book is real, Yah is real, at that point in time, my options are gone. So now it's, how do I do this with everything in me? How do I do this?
No plan B.
No plan B, no tryouts, no, well, if this doesn't work out, I'm just going to go to Rastafarianism. And then if that don't work out, I'm just going to go to Judeo-Christianity. And if that don't work out, I'm going to go to, Judaism. That don't work out, I'm going to go, no. This is like going to the casino and putting everything, your whole life on black.
Yes, sir.
Or red. Or that little green one that was a 0. I'm betting it all on Yah.
Yes, sir. We all in.
All in. And that's what differentiates a lot of women, is because the society has told you can try it all out. You can try out this man and try out that man, and if that don't work out, just go back to this man, and that don't work, go back to your dad's house, your mama's house, your cousin's house, then come back out there and try this dude and that dude and that dude and that dude. And by the time you finish, you hit 35, 40 years old, and you've done gone through double-digit men.
Man.
Double-digit men.
Diversification faith.
Right.
They diversifying their faith.
Wow.
You're not a diversified portfolio is great. A diversified pussy, that's not great.
No, sir. No, sir. Hey,
you don't want diversification.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something real quick. I want to say one day this week, my youngest son came over and me and him was sitting outside talking. I put on Kevin Samuels for a minute. I'm saying this because I think people got this Kevin Samuels mentality. And it was a young lady, she was 24 or something. Now Daniel's 24 or whatever. Me and him just sitting out there, and the girl said something along the lines of her last relationship was 5 months ago. I think that Kevin Samuels asked her, when did she think she want to be ready to get married? She said something like she want to play the field for about 5 to 6 more years, and then at 32, at 30, she want to settle down and have children. And my son looked at me and he said, Dad, she just want to be a hoe. She just want to go dick to dick for the next 6 years.
That's it.
And then expect a good man to say, come on in. I'm ready to have children with you. I just looked at him and started laughing. I said, son, you own it. I said, she want to be a hoe because she don't want to be, her mind ain't made up. She got more room to explore. I think she was one of the explore, getting more educated, and all of this other kind of stuff. I said, you know what, son? That's the mentality that we have now. The women had that. When I say Kevin Samuels, I mean in the sense of this. They think if they fine, they got all the time in the world. They think if they young, they got all the time in the world. And the guy was just basically telling her, he was like, you 24. You are right now in your prime years for marriage and mating and having children, rearing a family. But what I've been noticing is it's a big heavy trend where that's not even popular no more. Having a family, living a quiet and peaceable life, and actually raising your children in peace, you living in peace, having a lower stress level and all that stuff, being well taken care of, they don't want that. It's extreme fucking going wild. You got to have dick 24/7. And I'm like, where do they do that in America? I mean, I'm just saying, I'm being realistic. How do you plant a field? How do you cook a meal if that's going on 24/7? What are the children learning? So I'm just throwing that out there to say, now my son, I know he said he had just started watching him because I told him about him. I said, I just want you to peep what he's saying to these younger women because they're not getting it. Now he married and he got 3 kids or whatever, 3 children. But I just wanted to see if he could even catch it. He was like, man, he said that he has a big strong feeling about women as far as them not being submitted to a man in their early years, because he was like, who wants a 40-year-old woman after she didn't use herself up for the last 10 or 12 years? He said, who really wants that? He said, I'm a young man, Dad, and he said, even if I didn't have, Brittany, he said, I wouldn't be looking for that. He said, I'm looking for the woman that sees the value in him and is not willing to have a trade-off of giving up her body.
Wow.
I was just tripping on that, man. Like I say, I'm old school, so it's hard for me to even understand that a woman would be like, hey, I know I'm 24, but shit, I can wait till I'm like 30 years old to even consider being married. I'm like, hold on a second, that's a long time. You let a lot of years pass by.
I want to address Israel Lewis's comment. He said, I wonder why the first man in the Bible who practiced polygyny was of an unrighteous seed line. Brother, that's so far off.
That's what I'm
just being real. That's so far off. First and foremost, the Bible doesn't say Lamech was the first guy to ever practice polygyny. You do know that in the Bible there were more people than were just mentioned in the Bible, right? There were tons of people in the Bible. Tons of people in the Bible.
That's a good question. That's a great question right there. Did the Bible call that seed line unrighteous? That's an awesome question because I ain't never seen it in the King James Version. We assume too much. We assume that because men sinned, or because Cain and Abel, or because Cain sinned, that had to make the whole bloodline whatever. But we don't even consider the sins that we do. So is the sin that we have done as men, do that now erase the whole bloodline after us? That's way off.
If that were true, what would that say about Seth, who came from Adam? So we have to be careful with our assumptions about what we're just saying, and we have to learn to renew our minds so that we're just saying what Yah says instead of what some man has said, some doctrine has said.
I was going to say, it sounds to me, first and foremost, that came from a woman. You know, because women they do everything that they can to try and disprove something that they don't want to do. So they're the ones that'll search the internet why I shouldn't practice or why I shouldn't do polygyny, and get everybody else's reasoning and then apply it to their situation. I mean, because if that's the case, you can draw countless conclusions unrighteously. That means that shit. If that's the case, then I also want to say, then monogamy must not be shit, because Adam and Eve were monogamous, and they failed.
They produced their child, murdered their other child.
That was monogamy.
I guess we shouldn't have children.
That also means that monogamy was imperfection, and they couldn't get monogamy right.
Right.
So that means that monogamy must be from straight up Satan.
Yeah, we got to get rid of man's doctrine and just read the book.
Right. Right. And Bantu Hebrew Israelite said, ask Lewis how many wives Jacob our father had. Right. Didn't Yeshua come from the bloodline of Jacob? So therefore, I will draw the conclusion then that salvation came through polygyny. I'm just saying.
And I think
this is why it's dangerous that these people they do a lot of, I don't even know what to call it, Bible gymnastics.
Yes, sir.
But again,
it's very dangerous.
It's dangerous because that would be, and I've heard people say, well, because Adam and Eve were monogamous and all things started with monogamy and it failed miserably and led to sin, that all monogamy leads to sin. That's dangerous. Because monogamy and polygyny are both options.
And I'll just be real. I don't even like when people ask questions when it's really not a question, but it's really like this. I call that like a nice, nasty, or a passive aggressive way of stating something.
It is.
If it was really the statement, if you really had a question or a statement rather, then I would give you more honor for you to just state your statement for what it is. But to try to couch it in a question like that, that automatically lets me know it's some offness. That I just put it this way: that didn't even come across to me as a sincere question. But if you are going to ask a sincere question or make a sincere statement, I would strongly advise do your homework first, because you come over here with that bullshit, we'll be ready for you.
He said many of the polygynous relationships failed as well. Right. Monogamy and polygyny are going to fail because of sin. But if you want to go there, we can go there. 80% of marriages fail in this country today. 80% of black marriages fail today, and those are all monogamous.
And we're talking about it in Christian churches too, so lest you be confused. But I was going to just say, Brother Chris, honestly, we've already touched on that. So I just say, Israel Lewis, for you, don't do polygyny. That's your answer. You just go do you. And if you feel like we're wrong for doing it, real quick solution, deuces. Don't be here listening. We've already covered it. So that can't even really be a sincere question, because if it were, and you have been watching, which I know that you have, all you would have to do is go back to the videos that we've already done and answer those questions. So it just seems like you're kind of stirring the pot for some other bullshit. Hey, miss me.
I'm gonna be real.
You can keep it moving.
It seems like his wife is right next to him, telling him he better type this.
So for you, don't do it. That's what I would say. Just
don't do it.
Keep your nuts in her purse. Ask for them back occasionally, and then keep pressing. But if you want to have a sincere question, you approach things, or you really want to have the conversation, you do it in the right manner. That's it.
I was gonna say the same thing, fellas, and we know this. Some men are cut out for different things, and I think that for you to have a successful family, you have to know what you're cut out for. Period.
Yes,
right.
Sir.
I'm never gonna hate on anybody if they are monogamous, and I'm not gonna hate on them if they're polygynous. I mean, because we have met men that are polygynous to a greater degree than us.
Yes.
I ain't hating on them. But I also, when I see a guy, okay, my son is monogamous. I don't hate on him. Shit, his family seem like it work well to me. And whatever ain't done, he's still young. He's 24 years old. He working on it. So I don't ever cross over into other men's houses with some junk.
Right.
Hey, man, do you? I can just tell you this. Marriage in itself takes great strength from men, period.
Right.
No matter what you are doing. Because if you not, I'll just say this, if you have not found out who you are, whose you are, and operate accordingly, you will fail whether you monogamous or polygynous.
That's it.
That's right.
I don't talk about polygyny because I'm like, well, hey, I'm doing it or whatever. Hey, I done some things in it and that's been prosperous, and I done also had some failures. We just said last night, hey, my house have been lighter. I mean, I had 3 people around here or whatever. I had a concubine in here, but it wasn't working the way that I needed it to work. It was too much tension and other stuff. So I was like, no. So I'm just telling you, the reason we put this stuff out here is so people can actually get the genuine feel. Like I said earlier, I can just tell you, my folks ain't hostages. They are free. They free of them. Matter of fact, I asked them, I said, y'all can go ahead and they asked me first, and I said, hey, y'all can go ahead and put on y'all head covering. They just stir the pot up a little bit there. Cause last night y'all didn't have on that. Just throw it, But our people are free. We teach them. We love on them. I mean, shit, it's almost like it ain't nothing that they want that they can't have within reason from all 3 of us. I done seen these brothers places. They be. I remember. I'm just gonna give you an example. I remember one Passover or Tabernacles. No, maybe it was Passover or something, or maybe just a visit. I remember we went to the store with FY. I ain't never seen this junk was buying chocolate bars big as your arm. To drag them back home. I said, what you getting all that stuff for? He talking about they love chocolate, man. I just want to do something for them. They work so hard. So I know that. I done been in Brother David's place. I ain't never seen, I play this. I'm just going to say one thing. And he can't even use it. Espresso machine. I don't need to say nothing. Brother David can't even drink the coffee. Espresso machine. I done seen countless things that these brothers do for their family. Hold on. Chickens. I mean, they slaughtering and butchering chickens and putting them up. They doing everything. So these are the most blessed families I done seen in my life.
He responded respectfully. He said, I'm not saying y'all are wrong. I'm just curious as to how you guys confirm this is lawful in scripture. Well, it's very easy, brother. Where in scripture does it say it's not lawful?
I mean, I'm waiting on to find a verse where Yah rebuked Jacob.
Right.
I see a
You just go look at,
Go ahead.
because I don't want to make a huge side trail off of this, because as I stated, and this is my first off, just go back and listen to the videos that have already been done, the numerous videos on this channel that have already addressed this topic ad nauseum. That would be it for starters. You probably get everything you're looking for plus some there. But just as a quick answer for now, I would just tell you, for starters, you can go into the law. You can go look at Leviticus and see where Yah prescribed, gave regulations about marriage and about sexual relationships and the do's and the don'ts. You'll find it there. You can go look in other places, like when Yah's given commands and instructions. So if a man were to take another wife, that didn't mean because his first wife died. So my point being, you just open the Bible, the law, the Torah, and you read it, and then you apply it, and you disregard what everybody else is saying, and you just open the book and you read it, and you'll find it there. And
I was just going to say, Brother David.
So you find that you feel like you disagree, then I would just say, then for you, it's not there. And don't do it.
I was just going to say that his next part of his comment says, when there's so many teachers and teachings that teach against it with more points to prove. I think that's your biggest problem, brother. And that's a problem with a lot of men. A lot of men read the Bible, see what it says, and then say, well, somebody else is teaching against what I just read, so I'm not going to believe what I just read, and I'm going to listen to my teacher. I'm just going to have to say, I'm going to believe the Bible over any teacher. The Bible says what it says, and I think that's one of the greatest problems is men. A lot of times, y'all men find yourselves having to prove yourself to your wife because your wife listened to some other teacher that she put in front of you. She wants you to study this thing, and you're studying it because she told you to. How about this, men? Have enough guts, enough intestinal fortitude to pick up the book and read it. There it is. Imabina said it right there. They're heaping upon themselves teachers having itching ears.
That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
The Bible said it. It's the same thing with people saying, you shouldn't eat meat. Where do you see that in the law? Well, you shouldn't eat it because I got points. I can show you points where you shouldn't eat meat. I agree. There are times that you shouldn't eat meat. If you're doing a body cleanse and you've eaten too much meat and you've been a gluttonous consumer of meats, you're right. You need to pull back from meat. But does the Bible say don't eat meat? Does the Bible say polygyny is against Yah's will? Because if it is, then Yah is schizophrenic like a woman, because Yah did say, David, if you wanted more wives, I would have given you more.
He couldn't have said that, because that would have made, according to some people, that would make Yah wicked. And I can't even say that.
There it is.
So,
the Bantu Israelite said it. Go read Isaiah 4, verses 1 through 3. It's all over the book. And the thing is, brother, is to be honest, I'm just going to be real. It sounds really weak because you've been on this channel for quite some time already. And we've discussed these topics on this channel for quite some time already. And you've been here listening for quite some time already. So for you to still come up with the same point, maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't dare even venture into polygyny. Maintain and stay in your monogamous situation, but you don't have to ask any more questions because the Bible does not substantiate what you're saying. And leave it at that. Just say, brothers, I think my opinion is it's wrong. Cool.
And you
don't do it then. What was that, brother?
You didn't even address the issue honorably. And I'm just being honest. You didn't even come at, I won't even say honorably. You didn't address the issue as a man. I'll put it that way. You didn't even come in and say, hey, I have a statement or a question, and here it is. You kind of like backdoor to try to get that conversation started with a supposed question. That would be my whole problem. You have a different, softer response from me if I felt like you approached it with a sincere approach, but it wasn't.
Hey, you know
Right.
the is this. The stream ain't even about whether or not it's lawful.
Right.
Hey, watch this. If everybody is calling themselves Israel, watch that now. Then Jacob operating the way he did with him having 4 wives and all of them children, that's enough, ain't it? I mean, are we Israel? I'm just saying, are we? Because people say I'm Israel. Well, hold on a second. Why are you not emulating them? Or Jacob was just a sinful person?
Jacob, David, Abraham,
Moses.
and that does not include all the other people the Bible does not mention who were polygynous. They weren't the only ones.
Right.
Hey, I like what Sister Nicole Marie said earlier. She said, basically the way the world is going. I don't want to misquote it. Let's see. She said, when this economy fails, all confusion will be clear on polygyny. Yeah, it won't be nothing to think about then. Oh man.
And I think that that's part of that deception that men we allow into our minds and into our homes. We have to be willing to stand firmly on the word. Because I know, that argument about polygyny, I've heard a lot about from women. Women make those same arguments.
The law of
and that's really what it comes down to is the emotions of people is I can't, or hey, I can't handle more than one woman, so therefore it's not lawful.
Right.
I can't handle eating chicken, therefore it's unlawful. I can't handle 8 sons, therefore you shouldn't have 8 sons. How about you shouldn't have 8 sons? How about you shouldn't have more than one wife? How about you shouldn't eat meat? We have this issue of taking what we personally believe, trying to Bible it, and trying to get as many people to see it our way as possible. That's the emotions. Those are the emotions that people are dealing with. My question is this: is it against the law, yes or no? Women, the Bible, Han said, what's the punishment for having multiple wives? I'll wait. Right. I want to see the judgment and the punishment in scripture of what the Hands. That's perfect, brother. So let's just get back on topic.
Yes, sir.
Sisters, can I ask the wives another question?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
What?
I'm gonna make sure both of them on there too. Just saying.
What is one of the worst pieces of advice you have heard in this faith today to women?
That you can test out that you can test out a man before you decide what you really want to do. Coming in as a handmaiden.
So you can't test drive the man's house first?
Oh no. Nope.
So you can't say, can I just sign a 3-month contract and see if I like how you're doing things?
No, that's stolen.
Oh. You can't do that. Oh, okay. Sister Amy? Or Sister Sky, Nina?
I heard a woman say once, don't go mess with those polygynous people because they'll just turn you into a baby making machine.
Mm,
That was in the faith.
man.
No, it was in a Christian faith.
No. Wait a minute. Have you been a baby making machine?
Yes, master.
Oh, she's a baby making machine.
Hallelujah.
Well, the irony was that it was spoken by a baby making machine. It was spoken by a woman who had
It was a baby making machine talking about it. Anybody else? Elder Barak asked, if it's okay, Brother Andre.
Go ahead.
He said, can a woman test the house? Where was that? Can you test the house but not the man? I have my answer.
I don't even believe in that, honestly. I feel like a woman should know in the sense of, and she can be testing the house kind of. The best way to say this, you kind of testing the house when you, to me, when you talking to them, when you dealing with them.
Right.
Shit, this shit is unscripted. Shit, I ain't got. I don't even care what they saying. They tell you I'm so not in tune with what they gonna be talking about or what I've seen them talk about with other people. I'm more so laughing. I'm in my room, you know what I mean? But I'm laughing because I know for a fact that my people are gunning for you. If you get on the phone with them, just because they're a lot like me and how I do things, I know they gunning. They looking for the pitfalls. They waiting on the lies and the things that women say that don't match up with their life.
Right.
What Amy just said, they looking for the holes in your story. And generally so speaking, I'ma just be real. For everyone that I didn't even inquired about being here or whatever, they can tell what really works and what don't really work. Cause they know how I am. Like I heard somebody tell me, it's super spiritual. You know you ain't going, you know all that high stuff, and eventually they try to hijack your Bible study. Or they usurp authority. They say you already know how you are. You're gonna rip them a new one. So they just advise me on what things look like from their perspective.
Right. I saw what Nat Media said. Nat Media said a servant is for life. That's right. A female servant didn't get a contract. A female servant was for life.
Right. So I don't think it's a thing to where you get in and all of a sudden you like I'm out, because now you are a you a virus. Think of everything was okay until what? More likely it's until he said X, Y, and Z. No, you're not gonna be able to go and see your family like that all the time. I know you was doing that out there, but no, and more than likely it's some here like that, and then they're like, no, he's too strict. Or he told me he wanted me to only focus on the scripture that he read and meditate on that. Girl, I'm used to reading the whole Bible for myself. Well, that's good when you was out there. But now you're gonna be taught correctly.
Or, women, they like to join a man's house and then they want to go get counsel from other men and brothers while they are in a man's house. I'm like, where is this? This shit is so amazing. You can't make it up. I want to join Brother Andre's house, but when I don't like something that he's doing, I'm going to go and have somebody else counsel me on Brother Andre's house.
Nope.
Huh? And any man that would do that is already telling you, I have no order in my own life.
Right.
That is a man that has no order in his life. Because any man who understands and knows this book would say, you ain't learning from me. You supposed to learn everything from your husband at home. See you later.
Right. I think, and this is my opinion on it. If women, and this is for you women, if you already got an idea in your head of some man house you want to be in, you just drooling by the mouth to be in that brother house, then that's where you need to go. And there's no need in getting in you see a guy that's possibly got his stuff together more than that particular brother, and all of a sudden you're like, well, I want to be I'm coming to your house, but I'm gonna be drooling at whoever that is. No, you need to go over there. Wherever your heart is set at, go over there. Whether it's good or bad. Just accept that. But I don't think
Yes.
women ought to play with men and their family, because that's the thing. Women think they just playing with me. No, you playing with men and their families, and more importantly, you playing with the Most High. That's a judgment that's gonna come down for people doing that kind of crap. Just saying. I know back in the day, we used to hear the stuff about women can come, because even for a minute there, maybe for about 5 or 6 minutes, we was like, well, that do sound interesting if we want to be benevolent towards somebody. Basically, that's what it was. If we wanted to be benevolent, yeah, we can let somebody come in as a handmaid and tear your house up because they're gonna be running their own show under the radar. But when you really when we researched this word, we was like, hold on a second. Handmaidens and servants don't come in and just go out like this to damn civic center. No. They in for life.
You know, really what that is, brother, is that's people continuing to try and redefine whoredoms under a new label. I'll just be a handmaid. And then if I like it, I'll see if I can be a wife. Well, here's problem number one. You didn't dictate whether you were a handmaid or a wife. The man did.
Right.
You didn't come in and say, I want to come in as a handmaid. No, you came in under whatever label he had for you.
Yes, sir.
And you operated from that perspective.
100%, brother. Hey, I always telling my family this. We are so far off, and I'm just going to leave it like this, and I'm going to let them talk. We are so far off, man. When David died, where do you think all them damn people went? Do you think them wives just dispersed and went to hell and back and all that shit? No. Solomon was reigning, and guess what? All of them mothers, they stayed up under care. All of them brothers who was actually with their father's will, they stayed there being probably advisors to that brother. All of those stayed in those positions. And I'm sure that even David's generals had sons that will one day be generals to Solomon. Servants didn't walk off the job. That's that Americanized BS that we be doing, and then we call it Bible. It don't work like that.
Man.
That's why we can't get back to the culture. We can't get back to the book because our mind is screwed up. And I ain't going with that stuff that people told y'all. It ain't from high fructose corn syrup. It's just that you crazy as hell and nobody never put their foot in your ass and made you be a man or a woman that y'all call you to be.
That's it.
That's the bottom line. It ain't because you so crazy and demons in you. No, I just said it earlier. Until you start running in the cars like a goat and running through walls and all this other kind of stuff and throwing yourself in the fire, you are capable of making a right decision to serve Yah fully. Period.
Yes, sir.
And just for y'all women, if you're a woman, and I'm gonna be real, if you have had sexual interaction with a man at all, and you get up and leave his house, you're a hoe. That's just being real. Because that's not our culture. That's not our law. And too many times women, they put that I'm leaving threat. I'm leaving. I don't want to be here. Or they try to manipulate the man and make him so miserable that he gets rid of her. like forcing a divorce. We have to. This is why I struggle when people run around. I'm Israel. I'm a believer. I'm a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Yehuda. I'm just a believer. I'm a law keeper. I have a hard time even associating myself with what these people call the faith. If y'all have any questions for brothers, is it all right if people have any questions that they type them in?
Yes, sir.
Brother David gave us a thumbs up. So if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask, brothers or sisters. This stream really is kind of for y'all, because they want. Why aren't y'all doing any more streams for us? Because we say the same thing over and over again. And in reality, you have a choice to make. You either say, all right, I'm going to obey the word, or I'm not going to obey the word. Either way, it's your choice. I'm good either way. Are y'all good either way?
Yes,
How about y'all household? Y'all good either way? Either way?
Either way. You want to
Either
live
way.
or you want to crash and burn. We good either way.
Right. Oh man. Elder Barak, can you ask the question again? Y'all know my attention span.
Trying out. Can they try out the house before they try the man?
Oh, here's what I would say. I don't think it's possible to try out the house without trying out the man, because the house is a representation of the man. I see the house and the man as one and the same. The wives are a representation of the man. The house, the way it runs.
I'm sure he'll be back. Well, I'll answer while we wait for him to come back in. I believe the question was, would it be all right for a woman to be able to try a man basically prior to joining this house? Was that right, Brother Andre?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I guess in a perfect world, a perfect scenario, that woman would have some sort of male figure who is negotiating on her behalf. I know that that's certainly what I would do. And if it were my daughters, I'm not just giving my daughter to any dude just because he says that he was interested. I would test him out, try him out, get to know about him and go through these proper steps and procedures first and foremost. But I guess if this woman had no male covering, from my personal opinion, not only would it be all right, it would be behoove her to do her due diligence and see, make sure that this is a person that she would be able to follow. So I think that a woman should definitely do her due diligence prior to agreeing to join some man's house. I know I wouldn't just send my daughter to, any Tom, Dick, or Harry's house just because he was interested. I don't know if that answers the question or not. But by trying out, though, I don't mean like go to his house and make sure that he's a good fit. Trying out, that's horrible. And I have to make that distinction, because far too many times I think that's a woman's mentality. We're gonna go over here and I'm gonna see if he hit it right. If he pleases me in that way, then I'll stay. And if not, or so long as he does, but as soon as he says something that's contrary to my feelings and emotions, now I'm out. Now I want to go try somebody else who probably has less standards or, that kind of stuff. That's not a tryout. That's just whoredoms. And I'm sure that that's not what Elder Barak was talking about. But, obviously I would say a woman looking to join some man's house should definitely do her due diligence. I would think it would be ill-advised just to join a man's house just because it was an option. But you've done no homework. You know nothing about this person whatsoever. I would never put my daughter in that situation. So again, first and foremost, in best case scenario, she would have a man that's operating on her behalf. But if not, then hopefully she would have to, some kind of question that she would be able to ask in a get to know you kind of a process. And I would have no problem with some woman telling me, well, I don't feel like I would be a good fit for your household. I don't think that would be dishonorable towards me at all for some woman to tell me that. I'd rather her be able to tell me that and find that out on the front end of it instead of coming into the house and now, we consummate this thing and now her decide, oh, actually, I don't want to be here because of this, that, and the other. That would be dishonorable and hoarding. So that's my personal take on it.
I agree with you 100%, brother. Especially I think I would have to think about it more in the outside of, like we talk about our daughters and stuff. But for our daughters, 100%, I think at the time, I guess I was just thinking how, a woman, these women that be on their own. You know what I mean? I think that's sometimes that's more harder to deal with because most times they don't come with anybody certified anything. You know what I mean? They just supposedly ready.
Yes,
Whatever
sir.
that means. But I'm in 100% agreement with you.
All right. We had a question from Sister Nicole Marie. Wives. Oh, man. She addressed the women, so we can't say anything, brothers. All right. How did you deal with jealousy, competition, and low esteem from polygyny? And then she said, if any of your wives dealt with this. Y'all want to shoot? Bert David, you want yours to answer first?
Sure.
All right.
All right, so I'll give some background here. When Nina came on, I had been married already to Brother David, or my master, for 16 years. And there was a very short but acute time at the beginning when I was not understanding what I was seeing. And I was thinking that he must prefer her over me because she is younger and hotter. Because I'm an old woman who squeezed out the 5 kids and the rest of that story. Well, really, that was just fear that I had never, ever addressed within myself. I didn't ever deal with stuff like that, like in a girlfriend-boyfriend situation in school or anything. It was all new to me, and I freaked out. So the facts of the matter is, if I watch how he behaves with her and how he behaves with me, and I see him being very consistent and open and honest and so on, my eyes would have to come to the truth that there's no cause to be fearful of jealousy because there's nothing to be jealous of. She is one individual and so am I. And the greatest thing for his household is that she is strong and she is capable and she is wise, and I am too. So there is no situation in which she is somehow taking away from me something that I had before she got here, etc. It's like it's an illusion. It's like a mirage of some kind that exists when fear is working in the mind. And I'm thankful that was a short season because I certainly did show out. Secondly, I would say...
You can't tell them that you showed out. No, I'm just playing, y'all. Go ahead. Hey,
keep that part a secret.
Real transparency here for y'all. Go ahead.
All right. So
there you
secondly, perhaps give me an idea of what you mean by low esteem, because that is a worldly term.
Yes.
And I'm gonna answer what I think that you're getting at, but if I'm totally off, then put it in the comments so that I'm clear as to what you mean. But a woman has to know her own mind, otherwise she's not continent, she's not constant. She's blown by the winds, like the Bible describes. She needs to know who she is. She has to prove herself to herself. So to say I have low self-esteem because somebody bad-mouthed me, or I just never felt like I could do enough or whatever, I think that's absolutely just horseshit nonsense. A woman has to know herself. She has to look in the mirror and be able to say, yeah, this is who I am. This is what I've done in an unrighteous way, and then equally in a righteous way. And her husband can can be such a useful tool in saying, hey, here's what I see in you. Here's what I don't see in you that I need to. And when she accomplishes those things that he puts before her, it's not a question of having esteem or not for herself. It's her being accurate as his useful tool. And that's going to be shown by what she does and by the way she speaks. So help me if I'm way off on the idea of esteem, because that's not really a term that's going to make any biblical sense for a while.
Because you should esteem others higher than yourself.
Right, because the facts of the matter is we're a mess. Women are an absolute mess. And I don't want to get into the whole, well, we were born Western and we were raised in a Christian church or whatever. We didn't have parents who followed the word of Yah. And that's like almost nearly 100% of everybody I know. We did not have parents who taught Torah, who lived Torah. They were all hypocrites. They were all full of hatred and malice, even if they gave a whole lot of money and they were singing in the church. That's just the heart of the matter. That's who they were. And so that's what we're steeped in. And that's what we can put on a really happy face and show everybody how we're good. And then we go home and we're an absolute mess. So anyway, I don't want to talk too much.
That was good. That was good. Sister Nina? She was trying to slide off the camera. She was like,
She was. I saw her like slide down. Like,
Well, this is weird. This is like opposite. My hand's moving opposite direction. Anyway, sorry. Let's see. So I did have, doubts and worries whenever I first came on. As Sky said, there's some rough patches in the beginning. So in my mind, it's like, okay, he's going to take her side and prefer her because she's, history. They have a connection. They have children. So that was my biggest concern, is that I'm always going to get the short end of the stick. So then in my own self, I had to think that, then... Wait, what? The short end of the stick. No.
What's? I had to find out what stick was he talking about. Hold on. All right, go ahead. Hey, I thought you
clarify the stick, please.
I thought that I was always going to be dealt the wrong hand or whatever. But anyway, so then I thought that I should be on guard or be more defensive of myself to make sure I'm not going to be trampled over, blah blah blah. Of course, that just led to a whole bunch of other funk and more mess. But I think really it's that you just got to know that you're doing your part, and you need to know your man. So that is a huge like what my master was saying, make sure you do your homework, because he could be a great man in the beginning, as you're getting to know him, and he has all, this whole woo stage, whatever, but you got to really know who he is truly, because once you're married, you got to hope that you make sure you did your homework and you picked the right one, because this is when those little instances really pay off, of him being who he said he is.
So what if he's not? What if he's not? Do you just go find the next? You just go for your next tryout?
Oh no, sir. Abigail didn't kill Nabal, or she didn't leave him. So, but I know that for me, the big I guess where I'm not, dealing with the whole jealousy or type of worried that I'm going to be, trampled over or whatever, is I know who he is. He's proven himself consistent with Sky and myself.
So was the issue more with who I was then, or did you learn it to be more just a matter of, and I'm asking this by way of you stating, for the good of the group, to answer her question. So is it more about who that woman finds herself to be then, or is it more about who who the master is. Right, the jealousy issue. Is it based on this man, in other words, or is it really her discovering who she is and her role and how she fits in? That's what I'm saying.
It is definitely who you are in your role. Yes, I would say so for sure.
Because can Sky cause you to get the short end of the stick? No. Or can Sky can you cause Sky to be replaced?
No, sir.
Who can do that?
Yourself. So again,
that's
knowing
good.
that you're doing your part, that you are fulfilling your role, then you just gotta have the faith that Yah's he's gonna take care of you and not
Nicole Marie said thank you. Yes, I understand what you're saying. I mean low esteem, meaning not knowing your value and who you are. And I think that that's a very interesting and good question, because here's a question I'm gonna pose to you sisters, and then I want everyone else to still answer. I would like everyone else to still answer. Who gives you your value as a woman?
Damn.
Yourself? Who gives you the value?
Your master.
So part of knowing your value, one of the things that I see a lot, and I'm not talking about you, Sister Nicole, but other sisters that I have talked with, is they tell you, well, I know my value. And my question is, how do you know your value when you're single?
Right.
You've never fulfilled what the Bible said, which is become a helpmeet. So how do you know your value? I don't self-value myself. I let Yah tell me how valuable I am. And I know this: if I obey the Father, if I obey him, I will be valuable to him. If I disobey him, I will not have a value. So I think that when it comes to, we like to self-identify or self-value ourselves, and we're always going to give ourselves the, you're worth 8 cents, but you're worth $50 in your mind.
Right.
I'm worth $50, but no, just be honest. This is why we had the stream asking people about their value, asking women about their value. Let's be real, sisters. If you're not a virgin, your value has greatly, 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 greatly diminished. Being real. If you're not a young woman in childbearing years, your value is greatly diminished. If we want to get to the reality, that's like me saying, I'm a valuable man, but I can't pay my rent. Most women be like, he a broke nigga. That'd be true. I would be a broke nigga. But who gave you the value that you think you have? My daddy gave me the value. Well, are you still in the daddy's house? Because if not, that don't matter either. So then, are you identifying your value based on Egypt and what it said? The world? Who gave you that value that you think you have? Miss Mamtube, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's one of the greatest questions. If as a wife, you are doing your job, you will never have to worry about your value. Never. You will never have to question, do I belong? You will never have to question, does he love me? You will never have to question, am I valuable to him? You will know because he will show you. Brothers, am I right?
Yes, sir.
So I think a lot of times that jealousy stems from the fact that as a woman, you're not doing your job. That sister over there is busting her ass more than you are. Why is she over there doing all that? She ain't gotta go and smile at him like that. Damn. She thirsty. Why is she gotta get on her knee and give him that dinner like that? It's good enough the way I was doing it. Why she got to do her hair like that? She ain't got to go out and spray that cherry blossom spray that she knows is his favorite. Why is she trying to make them all happy? Why is she over there making them all happy for? Shit. I mean, shouldn't you be doing that? If you know he likes cherry blossom and you got cherry blossom, why you not spraying it?
Yep.
Right.
So that in reality, a lot of that jealousy is inward. It's your fault because you know you're not doing what you need to do
100%.
for him. If you look at men are not jealous of other men unless if I see Brother David tilling his ground, planting his tomatoes, planting his potatoes, planting his artichokes, growing wheat, and I'm over here playing Madden, playing Call of Duty, you're damn right I'm gonna be jealous of Brother David. He's providing for his family, and I'm winning Super Bowls. And then when a woman comes in and says, I'm looking for a man that can provide for his house, that's a hardworking man, and she tells me no, and she says yes to Brother David, now I got a problem with Brother David. But he didn't do nothing. Now I'm jealous of Brother David. Well, he ain't got 4 championship rings like I do. No, his family's eating. Just be real. So that jealousy it usually stems from the fact that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing as a woman or as a man. Because if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you would look at that sister and be like, shit, we're all part of his body. Just like all of us men are part of the body of Messiah. You should want to see your sister uplifted, your brother uplifted. That's right. It is a great question. It is, because a lot of women do have that question of how do y'all deal with jealousy? Brother Andre, you want your wife's answer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I would say yes, experience those things. Especially when we first started, and it was before we came into faith, kind of. I don't know. It kind of took me by surprise. So yes, you're wondering, well, did it go this way because I did something wrong, or I'm not doing something that I should have been doing, and that's why this happened? So you go through a barrage of emotions and things. And I think what got me through it is that, number one, learning more, about faith and what it looked like then and what was the purpose of it. And then just looking at the kind of person that he was, and I think I hit on it, to where he's consistent. He's consistent with me, consistent with her. And he didn't do a lot of coddling or making me feel good and all this other stuff. It was something that I had to work on, and to know that I have a place, Amy has a place. It doesn't what you call it?
One doesn't.
Yeah, one doesn't negate the other. That we all to be here. He loves us. And the main thing for me was that to know that he is able to love more than one person. Coming up, you think that, okay, meet a man, you marry him, he's supposed to love you and love you only, and that's the most of his capacity. That's all he can, just love one woman. Well, that's not true. He can love 2 women at one time. One not get more time or less time or whatever. He's capable of doing it. So that kind of helped me. As far as the low self-esteem thing, I think it was this year really. It kind of hit me hard to where he would say, well, I feel this way about you or whatever. And then I was like, well, I was thinking something different, or I was thinking the same as him. And then it was something other your master is saying, and you're not really what he has, feels about. So just looking at that and changing the way I think on that kind of helped me with the esteem, if you want to call it, issue.
I mean, definitely. I think, I mean, we're, uh, you know, we are filled with emotion, and sometimes you can let that rule way more than it should. When we first started, yeah, there was jealousy. There was, I mean, I can understand where, some of the things Sister Nina was saying, because they had been for years when I came into the house. So, they grew up together, all of their history is wrapped up, together. So yeah, sometimes I would have questions about how do I fit in, or, um, am I always going to be the second choice, those kind of things. But then you learn that it doesn't work like that. Everybody has a place, everybody has a role. One is not, better than the other, important than the other. Everybody has their way, and if it's all working and everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, then it works like we work kind of like a well-oiled machine. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. It's when you let those emotions and feelings rule your thoughts, when you fall out of line, and then it messes up the whole function of the house. I mean, as far as self-esteem, um, I mean, I think together, once I had a role, and I wasn't less than that role, then I mean, I deal with, feeling less than. So it's just about knowing your part, playing it.
Hold on a second. I didn't make you feel good about that when you used to say stuff to me like, well, this is in the beginning. Say, I don't want to be second place. I didn't pump you up and say, no, baby, I'm gonna make one. Because I'm gonna tell you one of the things I see in the Bible, and this is just a precept of my own. Women have to rock out their position. If you are a junior wife, you shouldn't be running around talking about, well, I want to be in her place. Well, shit, you ain't went through the shit that she went through when I was not. Watch this. When I wasn't a law keeper. What about that? Do you want to deal with that? Do you want to deal with how I talked when I first got married at 18 years old? You want to deal when she had 4 kids and we was probably like 23, 22 years old, and I was gone for months at a time on the road, and when I come home, I'm still a tyrant? Do you want to deal with that? So I believe women should, wherever a man places you, you learn how to rock out that position, because that's where he needs you at now. And he need that first wife. If there's the first wife, he need her to continue to operate where she's at and where she's always been at.
True.
I would get a true appreciation for where that man placed them. They wouldn't run into these supposedly low self-esteem issues. No, I don't believe in that low self-esteem stuff. It's just that you refuse to take the words that man has given you. Numbers 30. The man has given you words. Hey, this is what I think about you, baby. This is what I think about you, baby. I'm gonna just say something. Most men is scared to say, if they got more than one wife, they'd be scared to say, hey, baby, what you think about this? Or look over at the other one and say, hey, baby, what you think about that? And all that kind of stuff, because you scared to death.
Yes.
You scared somebody going to leave you. You scared it's going to be a problem somewhere. That's what I mean by, and my brother said it earlier, most men, and I'm just telling you, you shouldn't even embark on this if you're not ready. Because you're going to kill a bunch of people. I'm talking about spiritually and everything else. And I'm talking about the women that you want to surround yourself around.
Right.
You're going to kill out their spirit because you ain't ready and you want to rush things. But I'm just saying, I didn't coddle them. I wasn't like, well, I think, matter of fact, when she said to me, I said, hey, I don't say that no more. I said, number one, I remember one day I told her, I said, number one, you haven't done half of the stuff that she has done. You haven't had to endure what she had to endure. You are not even capable at this point when you just came in of how I speak to her from the first day we got married up until now. The pressure on her is greater than it is you, because guess what? You don't get this, but she responsible for you too. I said, even though y'all acting a fool sometimes, she's responsible for you, and guess what? You're responsible for her. Rock out your area. Stop trying to be over there in her area. And I told Keith the same thing. Don't worry about being in her area. No, it ain't she the newest Miss It thing in town, and I'm just all for her. It don't work like that. What I want y'all to do is love one another. Be obedient to my. Act like my word is like that Bible you was reading when you were jumping up and down in church and snotting and foaming and laying on the floor. Act like my word is like that when the pastor was preaching. That's what I need y'all to do. So that's really what it is. I mean, men can't afford to coddle women just because they're going through. I'm feeling emotional. I'm feeling weak. I'm the weaker vessel. Hey, if you don't tighten the hell up. So, I mean, that's just how, I'm just telling you, that's how, and they'll tell you now, when I'm agitated, that's how I speak. I'm like, no, this ain't that. This is not here for women. Y'all got jobs to do. You shouldn't be even worried about. I used to tell Kia, hey, Kia, I need you to worry about this, that, and the third. Or sometimes they might have got confused because sometimes I might get confused. I might say, hey, I need you to do that. And hey, I need you to do that. And I might forget which one I told them. Well, now they can figure it out no matter what it is instead of getting mad. Well, he told me to do what I thought. Ain't nobody got time for that. So what? I got confused, nigga. Get to it. You do whatever.
Right.
Do what? Go do it.
Right.
You gotta have that kind of. Go ahead.
I was just saying. I was reading in Jasher today the story about Sarah, and I found something really interesting. When Pharaoh asked Sarah, "Why did you say that he was your brother?" Sarah's response was, "I was afraid of basically your response." But that's what Abraham told her he was feeling. And I found it very powerful that she took on Abraham's words and spoke his words as they were her words. See, that's completely different in this westernized society where everybody thinks that we're all, I got my own way of doing things. She literally took on his word. Most women today would be like, well, Abraham said it, and he's the liar over there. He was the one over there that was saying it. It wasn't me, it was him. She took on his words. She took on his thoughts. So when people say, we got to be one, do y'all even know what that actually means to be one with your husband? One with your wife? When you speak words, are the words that you speak your words or are they his words? Brothers, as brides to Yah, should the words we speak be our words or his words?
His words.
100% his words.
His words. I lose my quote unquote individuality in Yah. I become his. I'm still an individual, but I align my wants, my desires, and even my feelings with him. Think about when you think of the word feelings. If I feel opposite of Yah, then what am I actually saying? Can I truly be his?
No, sir.
If I have my own feelings, it's hard to say I'm Yas when I have my own feelings. Yas like, y'all need to go left, and I'm gonna start crying and boo-hooing because I want to go right. This is what makes marriage so serious, and even more than, because I hear a lot about, sisters talking about, well, I got to figure out if I want to join his house. Brothers, you need to figure out, is she going to help you in your house? Stop making this decision about what she's going to decide. You need to make the decision. Does she fit my house? Can she speak my words? That's what we got to figure out. Oh, I saw such a key look up. Does Brother Andre want to say something?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. Yep. Nap said, Yeshua said, I said nothing apart from what my father said. That's also why it's so important, when you read the book, when a lot of these patriarchs were speaking, they were talking to their sons so that their sons could speak the words the father said, not their own words. Y'all can answer real quickly about the jealousy thing. So I want to get to the other question that Miss Mamtu asked. She asked a good one. All right, go ahead. That's it.
And Brother Christian, I'll probably slide out after we finish answering Miss Mamtu's question.
What was that?
I just said, and then I'll probably slide out after we answer Miss Mamtu's question.
Yes, sir. Actually, we could probably draw it to an end also. All right, go ahead.
Okay, in regards,
How do you deal with those things?
the first part of how do you deal with jealousy, or was there jealousy? I forget how the question was worded. So yeah, there have been jealousies, and a lot of it, I believe, at least for myself, was laced in more so fears and lack of taking responsibility, a lack of owning my own. Owning my own. I had fears because of my own failures, and it was a lack of owning what I saw myself. I think I spent a lot of time even prior that went into the polygynous side of marriage, more so frustrated because, well, let me go this way. So anyways, the jealousy is there because of fear. The fear is there because I did not take responsibility for where I failed, and that was my failure. I didn't own my own failure. There was always an excuse or a reason why I failed. Almost as like sometimes that I was more helpless than I truly was, or that I didn't have control of my failure as much as I actually did. And for various reasons, that's probably not important. But either way, had I taken responsibility for my failure and saw it for what it was, and just take it for what it was, I failed because of me, because I didn't do whatever reason for this and own what that was and went for fixing it, then I would have no reason to be jealous. So that would be the short end of the jealousy, and then the fears that came in. The fear was you didn't do what you're supposed to do, and somebody may come in and do what you were supposed to do, and then you upset. And if you would have owned the responsibility and taken care of it, that couldn't be the case. Also, I believe we have jealousies and stuff because we don't believe the book anyway. We don't believe our master's words about us, and we don't believe the book about us, because everywhere in the book tells you your place cannot be. Everybody has a place. So if everybody has a place, your place can't be just taken away unless you just don't do what you're supposed to do. And if you believe that about yourself, it wouldn't matter what the picture painted in front of you. Like Sky mentioned something about an illusion. It wouldn't matter what the picture was, what picture was painted in front of you, or what it looked like that you were going to be replaced, or it looked like you ain't good enough, or whatever those things may be. You will know all I need to do is do what I'm supposed to do, and all the rest is already figured out. All this other stuff is noise. It's distractions. from keeping you from pushing on, pressing forward, and going through what it is. Me, I spent time getting mad at the man. My master, I get mad at him. I've gotten mad at him for a lot of things, like, well, I don't think he understands this, or I've been through a lot with him, and it just don't seem like this, or doesn't seem this or that, or whatever. Whether you believe he sees it or appreciates it or don't understand whatever, and it's not that they don't understand it. They know that you ain't you are not taking responsibility, and he's not coddling me. And then you don't like the fact that he's exposing you and showing you ain't what you think you are, and I'm trying to get you to see it so you can fix it. Because if you ain't gonna do it by yourself, I gotta expose that out of you, and you mad at me. And that's just really what it is. He's exposing you, and you like, well, dang, I thought it was better than that. You're not. Get over it. So be better than that now, because I'm telling you that you can be. Because now I'm giving you information to be better. You weren't as better because maybe you didn't have the information, but I'm giving it to you. You're seeing it as an attack. At least I did. I see it as an attack sometime, or like a husband loving his wife not supposed to look like this. Well, how else are you gonna get better? Rubbing on you all day ain't gonna make you better. It's just gonna make your emotions feel good. So I think the challenging thing from there now, I think at this point, it's not even a matter of jealousy. I love the sisters been in here. I sometimes be doing too much, but I think it's more so me trying to find the balance of how do you do that? Get rid of the emotional side of it, do it and not being masculine. I have a background of both one time being very girly and very masculine, and I can't find the balance. If I take it where I take my emotions out, I become more masculine. I deal with things more masculine, like, well, I don't care. Like, and trying to tell myself I don't care in the sense of, hey, he can do whatever you want to do. That's what you're going to do. I'm going to figure it out. But I come across masculine, I end up being more masculine. It's really hard for me to hear that because I'm trying to find that I'm a woman. I know I'm a woman, so function, but I don't know how to get rid of the emotions without also suddenly I'm like handling things like a dude. But I'm like, okay, well, if I handle it with my emotions, everybody tell me I'm emotional. And then I'm wilding out. So then I try to get all tough, like, okay, and then you tough. So, you know, and then with Ebony, a good example, she's actually more feminine. And her masculinity is only show up here and there, but she's really, really feminine. I'm like, how she do that? Well, I can't figure it out now. Like, how you do that? So that's where my balance is trying to figure out, like, stay in your role, be feminine in what you do, but also realize when your master's not attacking you, trying to pull the best out of you. You take it or leave it. You know, you can't just sit here crying about it all day. But at the same time, you can't be so, you know, try to take on things the way they do. As far as all the self-esteem stuff, we don't need no more self-esteem. We've already esteemed ourselves too high. We're in a place of trying to figure out that, you know, my master actually said a bunch of stuff I was going to say, so I don't have a lot to say about it. Kind of took over that area. He took my words, like, literally right out of my mouth. All this self-esteem is just a bunch of pride. If you're master, you only going to be as valuable to whoever that person is who's supposed to value you. So if you were valued by John, if John thought $1 million of you, don't mean that Chris gonna think, he might think 2 cents of you. You like all that stuff, you can't do it. It's just like how men think about women, who's fine and who's ugly. Well, some men say this woman fine, the other men say she's awful. I mean, there's no real, the value system lies with whoever is judging that. So all this trying to find your own, you can't. There's nothing you're gonna be able to do to find your own. That person who's judging you has to find it. And the only way you're gonna be valuable to them is if you do the things that they want. That's just it. Like they're gonna put the price based on what you do according to them and them alone, not according to what pastor thought, Chris thought, mama thought, daddy thought. They thought that of you. But that doesn't mean the next person's gonna think that of you. And if daddy wants you to be thought of as great, then they should put some great things in you. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're not gonna know that. And really that shouldn't be a concern. Your concern is just if I do what I'm supposed to do, that value will show without you having to speak it. And so we're speaking it is because we really know we ain't ish. So we want somebody to value us as ish when we're not anything. So start doing the things that are gonna make you something, and then you will be ish. You know, and they'll tell you that.
I want to add something in with what she said right there, because, you know, a lot of women come into households with this, I'm valuable. And let's say you're a master cook. And you come in like, well, I know I'm valuable because I can cook creme brulee and brulee of cream and the cream that comes off the brulee and the brulee that comes off the cream. Well, all I need is burgers. So if your value system is you're valuable because you can cook creme brulee, I'm a burger guy. I could eat burgers every single day and be completely happy. So here you come talking about you're valuable because you're a cook, and the last guy I was with, he loved my cooking. Well, I'm a burger guy, but I need somebody who's really good at doing a foot massage. Well, my value system is I need somebody to do a foot massage. I live off grid. So if you're a master home decorator, that's not going to mean a whole lot to me. You see what I'm saying? So your value may be, well, I know how to decorate a house using the finest linens and myrrhs from Persia. First of all, I ain't got no Persia money. I don't want Persia silk on my walls. So if you say you're valuable because, you see what I mean? So the value, just like businesses, you can't go and say, I'm a master burger flipper at TD Ameritrade. They're like, we're looking for a lead broker. Well, I'm a master burger flipper. I can flip 3 patties all at the same time. So now you're trying to sell somebody on your value. And then when they say, well, we ain't looking for that, we have no need for that, there's no value in that. You say, well, I know I'm valuable because Taco or Burger King said I was valuable. This is not Burger King. This is TD Ameritrade. We steal people's money through stocks and bonds. We're not worried about you flipping burgers. And that's why we've told a lot of women, you have to be malleable. If you're looking for a household that's going to fit your value system, you're going to find out you're going to be bouncing from house to house. I'm looking for a man that needs a master seamstress. Well, he may need a master seamstress, but he may be terrible at living the faith. But you got your position as a master seamstress, didn't you? But now you're with the guy who's over there trying to talk to other men. This is why you have to be malleable. You have to be able to adapt and change, and you can't go in and say, well, I'm a plate. The last guy I was with made me a plate, so you better want a plate. No, I'm actually looking for a bowl. I need a bowl. Well, I'm a plate, and any man that doesn't want a plate is this, that, and the other. I'm a pass. Keep it pushing.
Sure.
Ebony? She's like, I'm last at that. Everyone that said everything.
I agree with all of my sisters. No, I guess basically what it comes down to is, like my master said, the reason why a woman would be jealous is because someone is willing to do what you weren't willing to do. With the self-esteem is separate, but someone was willing to do what you aren't willing to do or weren't willing to do or did before you. And you and your emotions weren't able to maturely deal with that. Whether it was going to your sister, asking them how to do it if you don't know how to do it, or speaking to your master about what he likes, doesn't like, or why he responded a certain way, why he didn't respond a certain way. And for myself, I dealt with jealousy in that coming into my master's home, how I'm a new wife. I don't have the relationship that him and Tanisha had. They have a long history. They know each other well, or know each other inside and out.
Inside
and out.
Brother David heard it.
And one of the things for me is me and Master got married when I was 34. So I was older, and Tanisha, my master married Tanisha when she was 21. She was younger. She got to, my master got her when she was younger, was able to bring her up for over 12 years while she was young, got her when she was young. She didn't have as much, well,
You thought.
okay, you would think, anyway, you would think a younger person would not have as much to overcome, so to speak, and as much as a person who was 34 coming into a marriage, getting married. But I mean, we all have all these things that we have to overcome. Everyone's different. I'm more quiet than Tanisha. Tanisha's more talkative, more outgoing than I am. So that like was a type of jealousy, because I wanted to be able, well, her and Master, that everybody in the house talked to except for me. I'm the odd one out. And then my Master, the man that he is and what Yah has put in him, he needs his wives to be able to do this, what we're doing right now, be able to speak, help those that are here on my Master's page and seeking help and fellowshipping and all of that. So I'm having to overcome things that I've never had to before, never, been required to overcome before. And it seems so easy for Tanisha because she's outgoing, talkative, and stuff like that. So that can become a jealousy for me if I let it, if I allow those, thoughts and everything to cause me to be wicked. So, which that falls into someone else is willing to do what you are not able to or don't want to do. It's basically what it comes down to. And you don't maturely know how to deal with that, how to learn from it, how to overcome. And that's mine.
See right there? That would have taken her. She said all the words right there that she would have said in like 4 months when she first got here.
May I add one thing to that? It'll be quick.
Go ahead.
That's her jealousy is so funny to me because we be around here and I be like, in that case, we jealous of each other because she like, you can talk and you say that. I be like, I wish I had your problem. I wish I knew how to not talk and then had to learn to talk. I said, because you got the Bible siding with you. At least it's like everything tells a woman to shut up and then she had to learn how to speak. I'm like, I'll be praying. I'll be over here, y'all. Why am I in this position? I should have been the one over there. She want to talk, give her the voice. And not to say that I don't want the job he's giving. It's just more things that like, do you know the challenge I deal with trying to be quiet? Like just not knowing how to like, okay, too much there. Okay, cut it off here. Like that's a lot of work. I'd rather somebody like, okay, come on. So it's funny. We jealous of each other in that case.
Tanisha's the type, if we were in a foxhole together and I was like, everybody, we got to be quiet. The Viet Cong are walking by us. Me and Ebony be chilling. And Tisha be like, are we supposed to be quiet right now? Like, this moment? Or like, you mean 5 minutes from now? Because if we're going to be quiet 5 minutes from now, I'll be ready then. But if we mean quiet right now, then I can start being quiet right now. Master, quiet right now, right this moment, right now, like 2 seconds ago or right now. We done, man. We be getting electrocuted and having bamboo shoots stub up our fingernails. It's just be like, right now, wait a minute, ow, that hurt. Can you stop doing that, Master, right now? That's Tanisha.
Oh, God. You know what I mean? That's why I'm over here struggling with jealousy. People worry about her. I'm jealous because I want to be quiet. That's you can talk a lot too.
Oh, I might have that problem too. But we got caught. It might be me or Tanisha. I'll just say that.
Master's different though. He's supposed to be his man.
There you go. All right, Miss Maritude asked Brother David. Where's that question at? Where's it? I saw it. I saw. Brother David, did Brother David's second wife select him as her husband or vice versa? So Sister Nina, did you select Brother David or did Brother David select you? Or if Brother David's fine with that, how did that take place?
Well, I'll answer and then I'll let Nina answer since she's over there racking her brain on what she's trying to say. So a wife can't select the husband, really. So, well, I guess I shouldn't say that. At least that's not the way that we operate. I'll put it that way.
Right.
Nina made it known that she was available and interested in joining my house. And then I made an offer to her that she could join the house, and she accepted the offer. So I hope that answers the question, and I'll let Nina answer it as well. But no, I think a wife could definitely make it known to a man that she's interested in joining his house, but she can't select the husband, so to speak, because ultimately that decision is his to make. For yes, she could join his home, or no,
Right.
she couldn't. Hey, be quiet, boy. All right, go ahead, Nina.
Yes, that's
Wait.
right.
Can I ask a follow-up question? Who showed interest and who first?
You said who was more interested in who first?
No, who showed interest first? Did that break up?
I was asking a lot of questions.
Go ahead, Neil. You can explain that.
Well, it really started with me coming here, to learn from Sky and, just be a help to Sky here if I could, because we had already known each other from the church we went to. And I was just asking a lot of questions about polygyny. And then Master and I stayed up one night talking, him answering my questions and my thoughts on the matter. And then after he walked away from the conversation, he I guess was thinking and like, is she interested in being a wife? So he didn't really pose a question because of the way I was asking questions about it and seemed very interested. So the next day he did ask me if I were interested, and I said yes, sure, I'm interested. So it kind of happened very subtly and naturally, I guess. I didn't come here being like, I'm gonna be his wife, and if it's not, then I'm leaving. I was content to stay here just to help, but yeah, so I don't know, it just happened very subtly, I guess. And then there's no way that I would have selected him, because I could try to say all day long that I want him to be my husband, but I can't make anything happen, so yeah.
All right.
Hallelujah.
You know what I'm saying, Brother Chris? You know, no,
I know what you're saying. I know how it go.
But it was interesting because it wasn't like some, situation that I was looking for necessarily, or trying to make happen or whatever. But yeah, once I knew that she was interested and we were having these discussions about polygyny and basically how, it is allowable, by Yah, and I knew that she was interested, and then I made the offer. She accepted it. Yeah. But I know it would not have been something that I would have just, I guess, approached her about, or just tried to, skew her mind to see things from a certain perspective, or I wasn't interested in none of that. I just let her come to it. I guess that's the way I would put it.
I knew when I was 12.
Right. So I don't know if that makes sense or answers the question, but can y'all hear us? Are we frozen?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Hallelujah.
Hey, that's how, I guess that's what we call old man's game, Brother Chris.
That's what?
I guess that was
Wait, what did you say?
I ain't have no energy for the chasing game like you would do when you was younger, I guess.
Right.
You had to let her come to it.
Yeah, you be working too hard. I ain't got time to be, people be like, did you see my comment in your comment section? No. I post the videos and then I go to sleep. I ain't got time for all that. Quick question for y'all. Do y'all love each other?
Yes.
Sister Amy, Sister Key, do y'all love each other?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sister Nina, Sister Sky, do y'all love each other?
Where you at, Nina? I can't see you in the camera.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Even look up her mouth.
There you go. Brother Andre asked the question. Brother Andre, you are the panel. Question for the panel. Can the panel describe the kind of, this is a good one, the kind of woman or women that you would like for your masters from your perspective as his rib? Oh! Yeah, the birds were trying to get off, so I think that they could answer that one first, so they could go. Describe the kind of woman or women that you would like for your masters from your perspective as his ribs.
I would like her to understand patriarchy. I would like her to understand submission because she's already demonstrated it to her father. I would like her to be fully competent. And just to be picky, I would like her to not have had very much time spinning her own wheels in her own job, life, relationships, etc. on her own, because those things can be pretty detrimental down the road.
Y'all better say that.
I don't care what her skin color is, so I'm open there. And it doesn't necessarily matter to me if she's childbearing or not, though the childbearing aspect is a benefit because that would expand this household. Woo. I would like her to be strong and healthy. I'd like her to be able to keep up with me.
Ooh!
That's a tall order too. Now I'll just add so.
That's a tall order.
Come over here half stepping because I'm just telling you straight.
And I would like her to have a lot of self-control. Yeah.
All right, Nina.
Is there anything left to add?
Sure, because it's your perspective.
All right, let's see. I don't know. I guess, let's see, a better word for this, but whenever that question was first asked, my thought was broken, but not like a horrible way, just to where she's ready to be put together in the manner of master's liking. So she is ready to be used. Clean slate, I guess. Doesn't mean she has to have, not trying to say that she has to be perfect, virgin. Everybody else fails. Just being willing to be, made new as he makes her.
That's good.
And of course, all the things Sky said, definitely, I agree with her. Yes.
That's good.
Okay, I'll go next. I guess answering my true question, which is normally short and sweet. I would say I would like the woman represent basically what a rib does. So everything that a rib does to protect the heart and all the organs, I would like for her to do that. I would like also um, for her to come out of her father's house if that's at all possible. If that's not possible, like Sister Nina was saying, for her to be pliable and not to think he owes her something. I think that's a major thing too, is that not to think that he owes her something, but that she wants to give to him.
Mm.
And um, and then in all of that, of course, she's making him happy, and it's a benefit to the family.
Say one who can come in and really good as far as pliable. Someone who can come in and watch and learn and adapt to what he needs her to be easily, where it's not a struggle and he's not having a fight to try to teach her. Somebody who's open and honest and transparent.
Hallelujah.
Somebody who's obedient and submitted and dedicated. Somebody who want to put their own needs or wants ahead of his. Somebody who can their role, understand everyone's role, but know how to stay in their role and be a support where he needs her to be.
Hallelujah.
All right, for me, I want my master to have what he wants, but also when I think of the expectation of a wife to another wife, really I want the woman just to be more so malleable, know what she's coming into. Like if she's coming in to be a wife, to know that's what I'm coming into, and her to not have a backdoor plan, like a second backup plan. Like you gonna go through what everybody else has to go through, and do not think herself above any part of the walk that anybody else had to go through. Like think yourself above, like I shouldn't have to go through all of this, all of that, or those type of things. Just knowing I came to be a wife and come here to do it. So despite hiccups, failures, or struggles, her still been confident to know I'm a wife, just like she a wife, or just like she's a wife. And since I'm that, I'm gonna get up when I fall and keep going, opposed to running from situations, or running or think they're above the situation or above any circumstance that they may go through. Like, why do I have to go through this? Why did anybody have to go through anything they have to go through, really, and been married? Just knowing that we came there to do that job, be that. So even if you ain't perfect at it, even if you have those hiccups or struggles and stuff, you're still a wife. You still know you have a job to do. So get up knowing I'm still a wife and do that job, whatever that job is, that the man is having you to do. And as long and be malleable in that. So not like being defeated and then I want to leave because I'm defeated, or I want to leave because I want to be above what I am. Yeah, this is a good word.
It's not your turn yet. It's your turn.
I'm not gonna say that.
Okay, they want to do theirs together now.
Okay.
They want to do theirs together.
Say the word you just said.
Say it loud, Miss Leanne.
I was asking, was she referring to someone that would be committed? Because I believe my master was speaking on that. If you're committed, then you're going to go through whatever you need to, and yeah, you're going to go through whatever you need to. It's not going to be, well, I'm not getting my way, or this is not going the way I thought it would, so I don't belong here, or I need to leave, or it was a mistake, or anything like that. You're going to know that you are my master's possession, that you belong here, and that it's a walk. You're going to have to prove, you're going to have to be proved, you're going to prove yourself, and walk the faith. This is what the faith is.
What else?
what sister, who said it? That he said,
Brother David just gave a thumbs up.
Right.
He said, sure, that's good, Sister Ebony.
Whatever those exact words he said, but someone else said, which one of you sisters said something? He said, I better say the exact same thing. I'm repeating what she said, so I just can't remember what she said. Whatever you said, I agree. I just can't remember. So we might have to do the replay. But anyway,
It would be nice for the sister to come out of her father's house. But if not, like my sister said, malleable, teachable, not coming with her own program, own agenda, what she thinks about it. She knows, like Sister Key mentioned, what Sister Sky said, what patriarchy is, and understands it, and is willing to be taught.
Yes.
I think the malleable, knowing like if you understand the patriarchy, at least that the men run the show and you're malleable, and that when you make this commitment, you're gonna make it, and you're going through it, whether good, bad, all that good stuff, and you're settled in that. Really, just come with a decision. You know what you're joining, know what you're about to get yourself into as far as who's running what, that you believe this man is where he's supposed to be, that you're gonna submit and whatever like that, and then make a decision and then stick with that, and then rock out that decision. Good, bad, whatever, because that's really what it's going to take. It's really hard. I agree with everything my sister says, but at the same time, it's really hard to just believe that somebody's going to be above they're not going to be able to walk out perfection per se, but at least learn from those who are above you. Learn from the mistakes. Don't look at us and be like, dang, y'all messed up, and then not learn from that. And I'd be like, not use those resources so you can be better, because then it does weigh the ship down and you put more on somebody else. And I'm willing to take that, just because I know if I put more on somebody else, who am I to think I'm above that? Maybe that's part of what you got to go through. But at the same time, when the people are trying to give you that direction, they like, don't screw up like I did. I didn't, I'm learning. I'm trying to give this to you so you can be better. Take that for what it is. So the master's house is not constantly slowed down with emotions, with your new feelings and emotions. Because it seems like when people are new, it's like a new feeling and emotion stage. They got to go through all that pampering. I'm new and I want to, understand what that is, and then move from there, and always know you are a wife just like everybody else. Once he took you as a wife, who cares what anybody else thinks? You're a wife, just do the role. Be that.
Brothers, how close were they to what you were they pretty much on?
Yes, sir. Now I would say spot on, but I like what I liked basically collectively what I had heard everyone say and speak to, each speaking to different elements or nuggets about what it will be about. But I think that I would have to say what Sister Ebony said, that really, I guess in my opinion, was the hitting the nail on the head, in the sense of, for her to be committed, it's almost to say, because I don't care if this is my personal opinion, I don't care if she came from her father's house and he was in the faith and he did the best job that he could do raising her, just because marriage being what it is and people being people, there are always going to be issues. There are going to be things to work through. So that's why I say what I think Sister Ebony said really struck a chord with me, because the most important thing would be, is she committed? If she's committed, then the rest of it can be, if she's committed, then that will be, the proof will be in the pudding. She will be a doer of your words, not just a hearer only. And she'll be around whenever it's fun and it's enjoyable, and she'll still be around whenever there's work to be done. Things that she has to improve upon, and when the tribulations come and the trials come, which they will. And she'll have that singleness of mind that will allow your heart to safely trust in her. And to me, that's more valuable than her always being right, always firing on all cylinders, or being closer to a state of perfection. Being committed, really, I think that is proof of that, getting closer to perfection in progress, if you will. Because I don't think any of us are looking for, some false illusion that some woman would join and she's never going to have a hiccup, never going to have a
Right.
bad day or issues that you have to deal with, or she's going to come in such a way that we don't have to do the job that the Father gave for us to do, to nourish and cherish our wives and to remove spot and wrinkle and present her to ourselves without blemish. We all understand that's how we walk out being made in the image of our Master, is as we go through that process. So none of us are looking for that part to be removed, but that commitment part, though, that is what I think I find most often to be missing.
Yes.
You know, this kind of microwave society, easy come, easy go. That's the deal breaker for me.
I'm right there with you, Brother David. I would say exactly what you just said is exactly my sentiments. Having her come out of her father's house, to be honest, is not nearly as high up there as some people make it for me, because a lot of women come out of their father's house just more jacked up than women who weren't in their father's house. I mean, coming out of your father's house didn't mean you respected him. As Brother Andre said, you sneaking out the window every other night and you came out your father's house, what good's that gonna do for me? But having that commitment, having that woman that is committed to you, your house, your vision, what you're doing, where you're going, how you're getting there, the lifestyle, that far surpasses out of her father's house.
Yes, sir.
You know, that coming out of the father, I mean, there are a lot of women who come out of their father's house as hoes.
Absolutely.
So for me, it's that commitment and it's that submission, reverence. It's those things.
Yes, sir. Because if she's committed, she'll be teachable.
Brother Andre?
Oh, I was gonna say, I mean, I'm right along with y'all. I mean, Brother David put it real eloquently. I think the biggest thing is being dedicated, being loyal. I think I talk to my family, especially when the kids was coming up. Loyalty is number one to me. I mean, dedication, and I mean that they all run together. And like Brother David was saying, and we're not looking for perfection, but that goes a long way, man. I think if we really start, if people really know that, and I'm talking about whether it's polygyny or monogamy, if women really knew that men are laying it on the line for them daily, moment by moment, man, whoo, they would have a new profound love and respect and honor for their husbands. If you really knew what we were doing, you don't have to see us praying in the spirit to know we praying for you. You know what I mean? If they, aside from the things they see us physically doing, if they really had a good understanding of that, man, I think it would change their life if y'all could just, let them peer into what we do, how we feel about them, and how we feel about them is how we how we educate you in the word, how we love you in spite of whatever flaws you have, whatever you came out of, just trying to get you to the state where we can present you back to the Father. Man, I'm just saying, that's if they really understood a husbandman, they would have a new love for. So everything that was said here tonight, man, I got nothing but love for these people in my house, as well as y'all brothers and your families. I mean, they are spot on, and really, I'm gonna reiterate this one time. This was definitely a treat because we normally don't do this, and I know everybody has expressed their thankfulness. And hey, it was not a problem. We appreciate doing it for you, but I just hope that people take heed of this. I hope men and women alike actually learn from this. Go study it for yourself, and if it's something you can use and build on, do that. If it's not, hey, toss it in the trash. We totally fine with it, one way or the other.
Right.
We totally fine. We won't miss no sleepover.
No, sir. No, sir. But other than that, man, hey, I love y'all. I'm like, y'all already know we ready to sign out because we waiting on tomorrow so the women get on their call and the brothers, we run it on down.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I love y'all, man. I'm finna go ahead and sign off of this thing after FY. Go ahead and talk.
Hey, I think y'all hit it all perfectly. I think that oh, I'm just turning it. You know, I hope that for everybody here, first of all, if you can, make sure you subscribe to Brother Andre's channel, Brother David's channel. Brother David has said that he will be doing some homestead content soon at some point. But you got Brother Andre's channel.
As soon as I create that channel, I'll send you the link, FY, so that you can send it. And I'll do that.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
do that here soon, probably this week.
Yes, sir.
Well, not probably this week. Yeah.
Yes, sir. But I hope you take this opportunity. You know, it's no small thing when we put our families up here, because we got, first of all, we know we got our faithful haters who are just looking for something to say. But we do this because we know that sincerely there are a few of you who really do find value in these discussions, because you know we do this in the hopes that if one sister listens and joins a man's house, you know, like Suma, if one sister gets it and says, you know what, I want to be covered, I need to make these steps, then you actually got to hear it from some brothers. You got to see all the brothers in the comment section saying, yeah. So that lets you know that what we're saying is not foreign. You saw the sisters in the comment section who are wives to many of these brothers say, yeah. So it's not foreign. The question really comes down to, are you going to do what you read and what you are hearing? I'm not telling you these things for the hell of it. We're not telling you these things for the hell of it. We're hoping that you can sit down and have a conversation with your wife. Sisters, you can sit down and have that conversation with your husband. Many of you are in a place you need to repent to your husbands. You need to go to your husband, but baby, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did not know I was destroying your house. Forgive me. Humble yourself. If you call yourself an Israelite, his daughter of whatever. So this is just the opportunity to have that conversation. It's an opportunity for you single sisters to say, shit, I'm doing this thing all by myself. And you heard it from the wives. So what you gonna do about it? And if you ain't gonna do nothing, like Brother Andre said, just throw the shit in the trash. It won't hurt our feelings. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. As
All
long
right.
as brothers, I'll holler at y'all, man. Looking forward
Yes,
to
sir.
it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we love y'all.
Shalom.
Y'all too.
Shalom.
Blessings and shalom. Shabbat shalom.